Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 5th installment of the Problematic Gentleman Podcast.
We back.
You already know the vibes. I got my lovely, as every day when we record, my lovely co-host next to me. Yeah. About to enjoy a good night. Got some good content for y'all. We back with the heaters like we always been made.
Who else but us?
Who else but us? Exactly. Y'all know the vibe. So we've been seeing, the responses to some of the stuff that's going on. We've been getting the comments from y'all, the input. We love it. Yo, keep it coming. Like, subscribe, do all of that shit. We need all of it. All interactions. We need it all the way.
Hit up the page. We need the comments. Like you said, interactions. We need that. We want to see what y'all think about us.
Yes, sir. So, getting directly to the shits. We got two good topics for y'all today. I always throw the word juicy around, but every episode that we do, it's just mid-made juicy. We got all the content. But the number one topic for today, fellas, is friends. Friends. Interaction with friends. I'm going to start off with the beginning question, because this opens up to everything, opens the floor up. Do you feel as though males and females can have an existing platonic friendship? I'm going to start with Big, because B, he looked like he got something to say before the question even be asked.
I'm letting this stew, but look.
Do your thing, him?
Personally, I don't think men and women could be friends in a genuine way. And when I say friends, I mean more so like on the male's end. Like, because I think a woman could generally want to be friends with a man. In a general, wholesome place, be platonic friends with a man. But a man does not want to be friends with a woman, for the most part. Where it's just like, oh, you're my friend, let's go hang out, let's get drinks. Talk to me about your day. Silly shit like that. Let's go fucking pumpkin picking. Stupid, no. I don't think a man generally cares. I think a man...
'Tis the season for pumpkin picking.
You know? I don't think a man has it in his wheelhouse to want to really be genuine friends with a woman without getting something out of it.
Yeah, it's
without,
sort of...
whether it's sexual, whether it's something, because maybe this just speaks to me, but like I don't have any female friends, and I've never seen the need or had the want to. It's like if I was dealing with a woman, I was dealing with her because I was trying to talk to her, get at her. That's why I let chicks know that I'm talking to. Yo, I don't have female friends, so if you see me with a woman, it's a problem. Like, I'm not even gonna play you like that. Like, Brandon is never gonna be like, if you ever catch me with a chick, that's my friend. Well, no, I'm calling.
Niggas love that line.
I'm calling.
I appreciate you being real on that.
Because everybody know me, know I'm gonna be my friends, and there's nothing wrong with it if you do.
Like I'm dead in the water.
Look, I'm not even about to play. No cap. I hope you take me back.
Black men don't cheat.
No, we don't.
So we already know be out looking
We
on
don't
it.
get caught either.
How do you feel about this one, Mike? What is your stance on this shit, my brother?
I'm on the other side. I actually think male and females can be friends on a platonic. Don't listen to him. Do not listen to him. I feel like they can be friends on a platonic.
With no dick pussy?
No deep pussy.
What exactly makes you feel strongly about that, though?
I do because me, for like a personal experience, I know a few guys. And I have some female friends. I don't have a lot.
Them niggas gay?
No.
Oh, why?
I don't have a...
Think about it real quick.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Some niggas do be on the low.
Right.
I don't have a lot of friends. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just a friendly... I'm just a friend. Like, you be a friend. You be a friend. No, but I do have a few females that I have a platonic relationship with that I go to.
No dick pussy?
No dick pussy. I go to, I get the sauce from one of the ladies. We send I get a little input on the Twitter, Instagram, messages, stuff like that. We've hung out a few times. Now we ain't just kicking it on a daily basis, like just like you said, let's just go in the pumpkin patch. But I do have some friends where there's no dick pussy, and we just really are friends.
But can I ask you, are they acquaintances or are they really your genuine friends?
I honestly, because I wouldn't call them acquaintances because we have shared some memories together where it's like, okay, I actually, if I was like in a jam or it was like listen what I'm about to say. If it was something like, oh, I need something or I need some help, before my niggas, my brother, like my main circle, I would hit them up before some other niggas that I just be around.
Okay, I like that. I like you utilizing that as a like stand.
But like I said,
why?
So you hitting the broads up, and I just want to understand this. You hitting the broads up that you deem to be your friends before you hit your immediate circle.
Well, no, not the immediate circle. He's saying certain niggas
like,
outside of the circle.
If for example, I got my main niggas, y'all, a couple other niggas on my list who got me for whatever.
Right.
Then there's some other niggas who I might just be around me or I would feel them as an acquaintance.
Yeah, but they acquaintances. So
but before some of the females that I call friends, I would hit them up or fuck with them before I come to these niggas like, yo, bro, I need something.
But you just said they're acquaintances though, so it's like, what hold do they even have in your life? That's like me saying like, we all been to high school, graduated and shit like that. So it's like you be around motherfuckers for 4 years straight that you have a bond with them because you see them every day,
right.
Not because y'all have any real bonds that tie y'all together. You see these motherfuckers every day for 4 years. Now you see them in Walmart 10 years after you graduate. Is these niggas your friends? No, they're acquaintances.
Well, you were saying that you calling the male, you talking about the males that's outside of the immediate circle where
right.
you would consider them acquaintances before you would then consider like the females that you know.
Right.
You could look at them as friends, is what he's saying. So the niggas outside of the circle.
Right, and I hear that, but it's like, why are we even talking about them if they're acquaintances to him?
The niggas outside?
Yeah, they're acquaintances, so they don't have no standing in his
because
life.
I guess in my personal opinion, from what he's saying, he's utilizing that as a standout to explain how much he does feel strongly about females being friends. Where it's like you're right, the acquaintances don't even count in general at all. But he's looking at it like, I got some females that I feel as though will hold me down as friend before I would even get to them fuck niggas as acquaintances, knowing that I wouldn't do that anyway. But it goes to show that the female is still existing there as a friend.
Yeah, that's perfect. He explained it perfectly where I was explaining to you wasn't understanding.
Yeah.
I have my niggas,
Right.
some of my female friends, then everybody else. Female
Okay, that's
males.
fine. That's fine.
Shit like that.
Can I ask you a follow up?
Mm-hmm.
Are them bros that you deem to be your friends? Be honest, like me on camera. Are they attractive?
I mean, every female that I'm around is attractive. I'm not around anything ugly.
Okay, good. I like that we here.
Yeah.
So because they're attractive, if they hit you up,
I just about to get in that bag. Boy, you pull the bag out
I'm
of
asking a question. I'm asking a question. All I want to know is, it's obviously if they're in a relationship or not like that.
Right.
But and keep it a buck with them.
I'm gonna give it a buck.
So it's like, all right, Mike, I'm feeling you. I don't want no strings attached, but come through and put a pound town on it.
Let me give it a buck. Honestly, first I would come. My energy back and be like,
This nigga act like he
if
might
we
ask a
be
question.
on that, we probably be in a relationship.
Yo, you don't have to say
Because like I said, I view them as friends. So if you trying to talk about this fucking thing, where else we going with
But
it?
she
And
said
now
it.
you're no longer a friend.
But she
now
said
you're going
it.
to be in a different level.
But she says that I don't want nothing more than that. Like, I like what we have. I just need my pussy thumped on.
So this is the thing. This is a hypothetical question because the female relationships that I have, we don't be like, well, we secretly trying to fuck.
So you personalizing it
You know what I'm
down.
saying? But if
Alright,
any female said that to me,
Gregory.
if any female said that to me, it would be a yes. But the females that I'm friends with on a platonic level, we wouldn't have.
Is it no? Or I'm saying.
But
I see what you're saying, Mike, but he's utilizing it in like an imaginary scenario where it's like this is occurring in that scenario.
Yeah, it's
with
not
these
no
women.
personalized.
But the ones that are platonic.
what we do is we set like we not on that type of time. So my answer would be no. Because I wouldn't be looking at them like that. Because I have. Why would I be like, let me hop in my
Mike,
friend bag when I got females that
I hear what I'm saying to you, bro.
So no, my answer would be no then.
But you're stepping outside of what I'm asking. What I'm saying is, you and your female friends have an understanding, clear that you made that apparent. But it's like in this situation where she's let it be known, yo, fuck all that shit I was talking about. I just want to get fucked, or I'm trying. All right, nigga.
You're not fucking with me?
No.
Okay.
But
She's attracted. Okay, I have to believe you. I have to believe you.
But this is why.
You also told me
If we've already made it said that I'm not on that, and then you come back door like, yeah, now I'm like, what?
You act like you about to be confused. Like, oh my god.
I'm gonna be like, what was the difference? Because again, in my head, our relationship was as friends.
But see, I see where he's coming from because that can exist, and I will say that in the word because this is the first time you utilize that from the male to female perspective compared to female.
That's when we started, because you know where I normally come from.
Yeah, but he controls the narrative as the man, whereas if a female is hitting the nigga up saying that, like the male friend, a lot of times that man is gonna respond in a way where it's like, yeah, I'm ready to get it out.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm still looking at it through that female perspective, where it's like I always give it to you. Like I'm talking to a broad and she tell me she got male friends. I'm like, nah, they kind of just around. They're not really your friends, because if you was like, yo, text them at 1 in the morning and be like, yeah, I've been kind of feeling you. Come through and fuck. 99.9% of niggas come through the fuck.
You're right, but the thing is, in this scenario, we speaking to the man about that before we are the female. Now, I can see why you're looking at this scenario and you would say, like, Mike is just saying what favors him in this moment, which is probably your outlook. For me personally, I look at it in this scenario with that question specifically. I agree more so with along the lines of Brandon, where it's like, platonic friendships can exist, but I highly doubt that it's a genuine, real thing. So my answer for that would have to be no. And the reason why I say that is because the same thing he was saying. Men always have some sort of idea going on in their head where it's like, anytime I ran into a chick that would speak about the platonic friends that she has in the males, it was a nigga that got dubbed at one point in time. I swear to God, I've heard that so many times.
And been placed there.
Yeah, and been placed there. Right. So in that moment, he's accepting it and he's fine with it. But it's like, I tell him, I'm like, yo, but y'all met in a more intimate attempt. You just wasn't interested. Yeah.
Don't try to quell my paranoia by saying, no, baby, he just a friend. No, that nigga trying to get at you like I tried to get at you, and you put him in a box and said, nah, I don't really like you, but I'm gonna put you in a box of being his friend. That don't really mean shit to the dude because it's like, okay, I'm in a box. At some point, I'm still
on my way up.
Hopefully. So it's like, don't try to tell me I'm wrong for thinking that, oh, he's just a friend. No, he tried to come at you in a different way. You just forced him in a box. That don't make me any less comfortable about your relationship because he came at you in a romantic manner as any man would. Because we're not talking about ugly broads. We're not talking about ugly women. But attractive women, no dude on the face of this earth has looked at an attractive woman like, damn, I just want to be her friend. Nothing else.
That never happened.
That's never happened. I don't want you to tell me, nigga, with attractive female friends, that you looked at them broads and said the same thing.
But you gotta, it matters on how you met them.
No, it don't.
Yes, it does. Because me personally, if we talking about me, I fuck bitches. So I don't need to fuck every girl that I'm just cool with because I got my roster. You know what I mean? I got my roster where if I am like, oh, I'm trying to slide. I don't need to slide on the females where I'm like, again, one thing I do know now, I let shit be known. Like if we friends. Like I ain't really gonna be on that with you. I'm gonna bring bitches around. Like my female friends, like I said, I don't have a lot. It's not like I'm like, yeah, I know. I probably got a good 3, but I've known them for a long time. Probably since I was in like high school and we kept communication.
Just because y'all kept communication?
No, but we've kept like memories, we kept communication. They done been helping me out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Really when I needed bread,
I will say hearing it from a male's perspective directly from him, it's different. I get a different vibe from it. Like I said, I can only speak to my experiences with dealing with the females I've dealt with. A lot of y'all, like I said, if you starting that off trying to invite me or like, you know, introduce me to this new nigga that you did, well not a new nigga, but somebody that's been your friend for years, and you explain to me how y'all met and you tell me that, I'm looking at boy like, if she gave you an opportunity, you jump in and say I wasn't even here, say I am here, and she still gave you an opportunity.
Oh, see, I have a lot of those. Yeah, see that I have. That's why I agree with you. I have a lot of, oh, that's my friend, and I'm in the Chiefs.
I
do have those, like but that's why I'm able to say I know that is a difference because I know the females where it's like, G's my best friend, and then
he be sliding dick at the nigga.
I know those were a fact. That's why I'm able to say I know the difference.
Okay. Those female friends you talking about, they above an 8? They 8 or above?
Yeah. I wouldn't say they ugly.
What's the problem on that?
My thing is, are they above an 8? Are they 8 or above?
Yeah.
Okay. You telling me that they 8s and above, and you went in with the sole intention when you met them, strictly genuine?
No, I wasn't on that with them. But when I met one, I was in high school. I was playing ball. She was playing ball. So we met through ball. Like we playing ball, let's play. We got cool. I started fucking with a girl, but I'm like, all right, I'm really not trying to fuck with her like that though. Like I knew for me, I didn't really knew what she was on. But then when it kind of got off for the girls, we had the conversation. Because again, I kind of got close with these females. So I'm like, all right, we not on that, we can still be friends. And we really were able to. Like, she respected my relationship.
It is a bit different hearing it from a male. Because this is the first time on some real shit. We've had conversations about this quite some time. Right. But hearing it from, because I know, this is my cousin, I know this nigga, you know this nigga just as much as you, I know. It's like, I know that he really do get hoed. A lot of them done fuck niggas that's
Don't
waiting
get
on the
old.
sideline for certain.
They don't get
right,
bitches.
so it's a different perspective.
I understand that.
I get your question.
Just because he's not a thirsty nigga don't mean that he don't want to fuck bitches when they're around. I'm not trying to hear
If
that.
she came, if the girl that I'm really close friends with came like that, my first question would be with you is like, alright, we done had mad time because again,
You acting like you gonna ask a question.
I
It's just like,
am.
what
If
you had
she
to
just
know.
text me like, yo, come slide and fuck, we've had mad times where, like, because again, with my personal experience, we've had mad times where we would have been fucking if we was on that.
Bro.
So I'm my energy gonna be like, what you on now?
I hear
Now, if you been had this intention, that's kind of I'm gonna be again.
Why-
I'm gonna be mad. Like you kind of was wasting time
Why?
because if you was opening up and doing all that shit with me, and you knew you really felt some type of way, you should have said that. Then at that time, we could have seen where we was gonna go. Now I'm gonna look at you completely different.
I hear you, bro, but why you act like their intention matter, bro?
Because it does. Because with that female, we are.
Bro, but women are
great.
fickle. Women change their mind to drop a hat. So it's why is it that her intent matters? Whether she wanted to fuck you 5 years ago or 5 days ago, she want to fuck you. So it's like I have a hard time believing that. Let's just say that you're in a situation like I gave you, where it's like, oh, Philly, I want to fuck. You gonna be in the midst of that situation like, freeze! Step outside the situation like, damn, why she feeling me like this now?
I mean, you thinking like if she act me, I'm gonna just be like, ooh, come out like the Lindsay Lohan. John.
I know.
No, but my first reaction, like I won't just be like, yeah, bitch, I've been trying to fuck you because I haven't.
But
But you don't have to say I've been trying to fuck you.
that's Lindsay Lohan and Lizzie McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire, I love you, but
You know what I mean?
You was out about to kill me.
no, that's not what he could. But no, I hear you, bro. But it's like, I don't think it has to be a thing where it's like you have to sit and think about it, or it's like because you know what it is. If a joint in your face that you're attracted to, if she talking about what's up, I doubt that in that situation you really gonna be like, where this coming from though? Like, do it matter? If she said, I'm trying to fuck you.
Bust her down, bro.
Okay.
That relationship I have with her. Now, 98 other females that I'm like, yeah, she my friend, she come with that. I'm gonna bust her down,
I
but
think
she
them bros
doesn't have.
I love you. I just think them bros is included too.
I do appreciate the perspective that he gave on that because he gave it from a different standpoint that me and you, when we discussed it, I don't think that I've ever looked at it because a lot of times, like I said, ladies, y'all be having these corny niggas around and y'all
But
friends
don't
waiting for
listen,
a
don't
moment.
come
I know
to me
he's not a corny nigga.
Talking
you
that
know
friend
that, so-
shit. I don't want to be your friend. Don't think, oh yeah.
It's okay. Some just pour milk
No.
on the cereal before they put it in the bowl.
No.
It's okay, dog.
I don't want to be your fucking friend.
Alright.
I'm gonna try to fuck you. You
So,
come playing with
let
me.
me spin this for y'all, fellas, because that was a good little start off. I see what y'all doing. Y'all warming the oven up a little bit in it. The second question is on this one is, would you accept your significant other having male friends? Let me ask this nigga because you started off. Yo, BB man, I'll be like, have you be like, So go ahead, do your thing, man.
What I think it would have to depend on the relationship. Now, if she's a girl like she knew him before I came in the cake and I knew that, I'm not gonna just be like, cut all your friends off. But again, like we were talking about, I know how niggas be coming with this friend shit. So I'm gonna find out for myself what type of time he's on. So I'm gonna know all the male, female friends that my girl's dealing with on a daily basis once we get to that level. So I'm gonna be able to see like, I don't really fucking with how you cooking. Now, even if I do allow him to be your friend, you ain't about to be hanging with him alone.
Hell no.
You ain't about to be.
But if she was doing that before,
but you ain't in a relationship.
what if her last nigga allowed that?
Fuck that nigga.
Hey.
He is.
Is his name
That's
Jesus?
a good question, though, B.
And that'd be some way to talk about like, oh, my last nigga allowed it. Well, your last nigga ain't me.
Exactly. I'm here for a reason, and he did not. So
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if he probably didn't allow it, he'd still be around.
that's a good chance. So
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
But I think it depends on the time and what type of relationship it is. But I would have to see it first. That is something I gotta see.
You gotta see that shit first.
I gotta see a relationship.
My brother.
To me, it's real simple. Like, if I'm in that situation and the girl, so she's my girlfriend or we
Yeah.
talking? Okay,
She's
she's
your
my
girlfriend, significant
girlfriend.
other.
So I'm gonna lay it like this: through the talking stage, when I'm first getting to know her, and I know she has no friends. It's not my place to say nothing about nothing. It's not my place to say anything about how late you stay out, what you wear, how you move. It's not my place to say any of that shit. But as we progress and it turns into a relationship, there's this little thing called respect.
Right.
And that needs, all that needs to be taken into consideration on both sides.
100%.
So it's like, if there's something I feel as I'm being disrespected in a certain manner. Just like my significant other can say the same thing to me. Now, she's not going to have to worry about that for me because I don't have female friends. So that's not even going to be a
you eliminate that from rip.
It's out the door. So it's like, if she, so let's say she went into that situation having male friends or whatever, and now in a relationship, like Mike said, one, I'm going to have to check about how you spend your time with these dudes. You're not really hanging out with them by yourself. That's first and foremost. And then I have to just be like, what is your relationship with them? I get it, y'all hang out, but one, have y'all ever been romantic? Like, do y'all need to talk on the phone all the time?
You gotta get a history check.
What do y'all do? And I'm still probably gonna be like, yo, I'd appreciate it. I'm not ever gonna tell you to sever a tie or relationship you have with somebody, but keep that shit to a very low minimum. Like, that kind of shit. And I'll give an example. I was talking to a broad probably like a month ago, right? And it's funny because this is, I can smell it. I can smell a bird bitch a mile away. So, one telltale was like, something off about this bitch. She smokes cigarettes. And ladies,
don't put them nudies over her.
Aside from you having a child, the quickest way to get Brandon up out your vicinity is to be like, I smoke cigarettes.
I got the nudie pops.
So, it's bad enough. When I was talking to her, she was like, I was like, how long? Well, I asked her if she smoked. She was like, well, not for the past 3 weeks. I'm like, all right, it's cool that you stopped, so I'm not going to kill you. But, So, we still talking, and we was just talking about, like, relationships and exes and shit. And I told her my situation, and she was telling me about hers, and she was like, yeah, he was just, my last dude, he was just insecure. And I'm like, well, why was he insecure? What you mean? She is like, well, because I've had relationships before, and guys that I've been in relationships with, my previous exes, I like to keep, up the tabs with them. I like to go out with coffee. Like, I like to go out for coffee and lunch and dinner dates and shit like that. Maybe like once a year, especially if they're in town or something like that. And he just wasn't okay with that. And I was just listening befuddled, like, so he's insecure because he doesn't want you going on dates with niggas that used to raw dick you. On a regular.
Yeah. That's 99.5% of the male
So he's insecure, and I didn't like how she was driving at home because she tried to set
what it is.
She tried to set the stage like it was something wrong with him and this, that, and the third. But I'm just listening. It's like I don't see the problem.
Wherever you
and I even told her on the phone, it's like,
know your worth,
bro.
Know your worth, King.
My nigga, we was talking for like a good 30 minutes while I'm listening. I'm just like, I don't really see the problem with what he's saying. He's not really wild for that because he doesn't want you to go on dates with niggas that you used to be in relationships with actively. Now I understand that, and I don't believe you that it's in a platonic way where y'all just really catching up, but I don't give a fuck. You're not about to be hanging out with no niggas you can fuck.
It all wraps.
You're not gonna be hanging out with no niggas. Me, your daddy, and maybe your brother.
Damn, the brother don't even get a pass.
I'm just saying.
I think, but honestly, that all wraps around, like you said in the beginning, it begins from a mutual point of respect. You gotta showcase to me just how much I mean to you. How much do I mean to you? So when I say that specifically, in my response, obviously I agree with y'all 100%. Like, I would like to get a feel for exactly how deep this friendship runs. Right. So that's something that I got to see, like you said, going through the history check. Like, how do y'all interact? What do y'all typically do? Because I didn't even know that from Rip. I never would want to walk into a situation and control it either and tell you what type of friends you can and cannot have. But what I will do is step in from that situation, from the outside looking in and view the friendship in which you have and be like, that nigga's trouble. He trying to do something that you probably know, but you don't want to know. So I look at it from the realm of being like, it's not a thing that should exist. I prefer it. If I had a preference, if I had to choose, if God gave me a wand and was like, make your perfect chick, I'd be like, no nigga friends. Like, that'd be me. Because they're going to be higher on this.
At the end of the day, my word is law.
Because at the end of the day, in that type of situation, it's like, I would agree with B too, because, I mean, I will get further into the topic, but there were times where I tried to make, I didn't want to say that shit. But, how can I put this? Okay. I would say that, like, I try to create friendships out of shit that died from like an intimate scenario. But like shit would occur for me to be like, oh, so you give it up like this on other shit with other niggas, but you're not doing that with me. Oh, nah, I'm out of here. Right. So, and it's funny once again, because that's my man. I'm gonna talk to him about all the shit that's going on in my daily life, and he like, see, that's the thing. That's why I say with female friends, it's not really existing because you're gonna see shit, you're gonna judge. You can't help but to do it. You're gonna be able to, you're gonna look at certain things and just be like, yeah, this ain't really what I want to get myself into. And every time I'll be like, I'm gonna give this shit a shot. It fails.
She different, bitch.
So when when the chick come into my life on some intimate shit and wants to be the next level with me, I'm taking a stance at where he at, where it's like, I'm walking through the door for you with no baggage claim with this friendship shit. You not seeing me pull out my baggage claim off the rack like, here go these other random ass bitch friends that I got. No, I don't have that. It doesn't exist in my life. So if I had a preference, of course I would prefer you not to have them in the motherfucker.
And I'll be fair and say this, like, I was with a chick before, like, past relationship shit, and obviously I don't have female friends, but I remember, and it's kind of hard to equate it because it's something that's not as tangible, but I was like, I was talking about Meg Thee Stallion, how I thought she had a fat ass. And then I was talking about it around my girl, and she was like, you stop talking about her, I don't like that you speaking about her in that way. Not that she gave a fuck about me talking about Meg Thee Stallion, but it's like, I'm kind of lusting after a bitch.
She just didn't like to hear that.
Yeah, she was like, I don't appreciate you doing that. And I was like, I'm perfectly fine with that, 100%, because that's my partner telling me, I don't like this makes me uncomfortable. Could you not do that? I'm not about to do that. I told about other bitches I want, but I'm not gonna do that because that's not fair. Like, this has to be an even exchange.
Respect.
Like, I would never do that. But like, it's a two-way street. So when you want to dress a certain way, I'm gonna be like, go the fuck back in the house, because I've done that before.
Where would you want Queen when you?
Shit. I'm not saying you gotta dress like a nun, and you can really dress how you want for the most part, but I'm gonna keep it a stack and a half. I was with a chick one time, and then she came out the house, right? And she had these little sweatpant booty shorts on, and I saw the dark meat of her ass. Oh, yeah. And you know, nigga, the dark meat of your
that's a no-go. It's certain things you gotta
that's a tip drill level. And hold on, I had to tell her, like, yo, we was going to Walmart for some shit. And I was like, yeah, what you doing? And she was like, oh, I was like, you want to go back in the house and take that off. Like, she was trying to, like, argue me down on it. Like, look, flat out, I'm telling you that I feel disrespected by how you wearing your clothes right now, what you got on. And I'm not without reason. My exes and chicks that I've talked to wore tight, risque shit where they show a little skin and shit like that.
Right.
But when your ass out, my nigga, and other niggas can actively see your full ass. Yeah, the cheeks coming out the bottom of your pants for the most part.
That dog.
You disrespected me. Like you said, the dog, you disrespected me at that point. And I don't move like that. I don't have like a chick that I'm dealing with move like that. So I wouldn't.
To respect him.
At the end of the day, it's respecting, dog. Like I said, if you're telling me something's bothering you about what I'm doing, I'm gonna nip it in the bud within reason. Just like I would hope my potential partner would do the same thing for me. So it's just like, nah, I don't. It's a two-way street, dog. I know I sound like an ignorant motherfucker sometimes, but I try to be reasonable.
I think because it's just, bro, it's fair to speak to that because I think that we all have preferences. And like I said, I mean, let's be real. I think this is another thing where it's kind of a double standard because I do think in more situations than not, females that's dealing with you in a new intimate way, they know you're about to get to that point, they would probably prefer you to not have female friends as well. So it's like, okay, we're going to feed into this double standard, but understand that's fine for you to think that.
No.
Yeah. Like we can't go about it that way. That's why I like this topic because we all have existing double standards that one gets away with more than the other, male or female. But with this, it's kind of like even kill because we don't want it. We all don't.
You're not finna get away with bullshit. You're not finna get away with bullshit. I understand there are double standards, but we're not about to play the get away with bullshit game where it's like, oh well, I don't want you to have male friends, boyfriend, but I know him.
Fuck out of here.
I don't want to hear that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That type of right, like that's what you gotta fight against because it's like I'm not even like I said. That's not even part of my baggage claim. I'm not bringing that to your door. So if you want to bring it to my door, and it's something like you said, because a lot of those friendships they might be deeply rooted before you even get to meet the chick. So that's why you can't go in there trying to just buzzsaw everything down.
I would ask.
You gotta ask the questions
that's
first.
That's true, but I would ask a woman, but because a lot of women do this stupid shit where it's like it might just be a regular dude friend. And it might not mean that much, and it's like, all right, I hear you, that's your friend, but like, relationship happiness for the rest of your life with the person you feel. And I'm not trying to like give it like an ultimatum, but if it sounds like that, that's what it is. But it's like, here we building something good. I don't like the relationship you have with this dude who's your friend in a platonic way, so you tell me, yeah, if you fall back off that. Like when a relationship.
This is the thing, for me, being on the opposite side.
The nigga thinks you got female friends.
No, literally like you said, I'm not just a friend. I know it's possible because I have a few. So the girl that I'm friends with, that's really my partner. Like I really fuck with her.
Thought about fucking before?
No,
never.
No. But like I said, I've always had something else cooking. Now, if I'm just sitting, see the only girl I'm talking to the rest of my life, Will it change? I don't know. Probably.
Mike,
because that's all I'm talking
I'm
to.
not gonna let you stay away from what you just said.
But listen,
I'm not gonna let you stay away from what you said. No, hold on.
Let me finish.
No, he said some bullshit real quick.
If she was, because you want me to be like, my mindset, I go into shit like, I don't have to think. I've never thought about trying to fuck. Ooh, I've never slid up on this girl at all because I never looked at her like that. Now I'm not like she my sister, but tying back to what I was saying, she has a dude that she fucks with right now. Like she has a dude she fucks with, and I've even talked to boy, played with boy a few times on the PS4. But me being a friend, I'm not like I'm gonna text her at the 2 a.m.
I know you're not that.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm dealing with a female who like, oh, I got a friend, me being a nigga who I'm like, I really do have female friends, it's no way what you got going on, this nigga's energy can be no different than
I hear you, but you said some shit, you was like, nah, I never looked at it like that because I always had some shit cooking. What do that mean? Because she, hold on. Because you got some other dips cooking or you got some other bros that you dealing with, you can't acknowledge another attractive woman?
Because you asked me what I fuck. I've always had females I was interested into fucking, and I've never thought of her like that as well. So that's because, again, I view her as a friend. If I'm like, oh, I see a girl and do some about become cool, I'm like, oh, I'm trying to fuck her.
Right.
I've never, even when we first met to now, been like, man, I want to fuck her. Not like, we never been on.
Bro, and it's different just hearing from a nigga that you know get hoes. We never had this conversation. We've never had this conversation from a nigga that does get hoes that can speak from a different perspective of what we say.
I've never looked at it as a fact that was like, oh, the nigga that gets hoes is the outlier. I looked at that nigga in the grouping as well, dog. Like, that's just me. And I've never, because maybe I'm just perplexed by hearing this, but every attractive woman of age that I've ever come across in my life, I've thought about fucking. I don't know about y'all,
see,
but
when you say that, every attractive woman, I've not thought about fucking.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
it's compelling.
Just I feel like you're attractive, I ain't trying to fuck you.
I didn't say I was didn't say I was trying to fuck
or I ain't even thought, or she look good, I'll fuck her. Like, no.
Never noticed the way the ass look?
No. I mean, a fat ass is a fat ass. On an ugly broad and a good looking broad.
When I said that to you earlier, I'm not saying that the attractive nigga, whoever be getting the hoes or most or whatever, still can't try to play that firm role and wanna fuck. Cause you're right, that still can occur. I just think a lot of time, I'm speaking from my experience and my run-ins. Right. Every time that I've been dealing with a chick that might have been deeply rooted with a friendship from some nigga in the past, it's some corny nigga that's just waiting. Like the one joint I was talking to months and months ago, you remember the joint from Philly that was going to school at Temple? Lil June.
Oh yeah.
She had some dude that she was dealing with. She was friends for quite some time, but she said that the way that they first interacted, he tried to shoot a shot. She shot that nigga down, and it wasn't a thing. But like, what was crazy was she was like they would do things together. It was him, one of her girlfriends, and then her. They would always do things together. And she was like, it's even to a point where like he would come over and like if they had a late night, he would stay the night on the couch. And it's like I can never do that to no bitch. That's just my friend. I have a bed that also another bitch could be in. I'm not trying to let him get stiff ass couch with my neck home in the morning. So, but to me. And I'm not saying he got hoes or not. I just be looking at the situation like, what type of nigga does that though? Like, am I wrong for thinking like you a weirdo for like having a platonic friend that you got to sleep on the couch?
See, and then it goes to show. I actually know a nigga that doesn't think like me. He thinks like, and I know him personally. He friends hoes. Like, I'm going to be a friend with her, put my niggas on. It's the weird, like, this is a true story. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. Right. I don't know how this is possible. I'll never do no shit like this. Like, this is my friend. I'll put my niggas on and still hang out with her. Like, they'll hang out by themselves. Slide, because I've done it. My man's has girls he's friends with that me and multiple people that me and my niggas have smashed, have fucked. He hasn't. And we've even had these talks like how we have them all like, bro, you really don't be fucking these hoes. He be like, no, we friends, bro. We just cool. We smoke together. We kick it. And he don't be fucking them.
A nigga might tell you he never did coke before, but he could also be lying.
He could, but I mean, what would you? I believe him because me and my niggas have smashed.
Okay.
His friends. And he'll throw him to it, like he'll throw us the oops and all that. So I do know a nigga that is really just friends with multiple hoes. Now, like you said, is he backdooring and bugging? He might be. I don't think so because the situations and the experiences that happen is beyond me. It's something I've never experienced. For example, he let her friend come with her nigga. and chill at his crib. Stay, sleep there.
Bro, that is some dialogue in which I cannot. I don't
It is. I don't know
Listen.
which one of you will have the luxury of having me as the cornerstone of your lifestyle. You think you have male friends, you won't be.
That ain't happening, Captain.
I've never. So, even if I didn't have my situation with the female that I know, I would still be like, I know that male and female can be friends. Is it some weird shit that he got cooking? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be on y'all side. Hell no, looking at the nigga if he was here. So I know that male and female can be friends because of my situation, nigga, and because of the weird nigga that you feel me situation.
I like this because it is compelling, and he's bringing, like I said, to me, in my personal opinion, he's bringing
He didn't say he wouldn't fuck, but go ahead.
He's bringing an element that I just never thought of with this discussion. So I'm gonna spin it to the next question with this, fellas. Do you feel as though you can be friends with someone that you've been sexually active with in the past? Is that something that's a possibility? So, who want to take the floor first on that?
I can take the floor. Can I be friends with somebody I've had sexual relationships in the past? Yes, I do. I think you can be friends with somebody you've had sex with.
Like, so you think y'all can be legitimate, like platonic friends after the
Platonic
sexual relationship?
friends, I think you can call it what you want, but I think like after you've had sex with a woman, I think it opens a level of communication and a level of trust to where it's like y'all connect in a deeper way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I personally like when I've been dealing with chicks like remember like last week when I showed you John texted me, he's like, but we friends though.
Hey, no, he not.
Yo, like John had quick side story. So this John, I probably smashed like 3 years ago, and I like we obviously follow each other on Instagram, so I just be like looking. She's in a relationship, so I just be looking at her stories sometimes. And it's always some men bashing shit. Always some men are like this because this, and they be treating women bad, and whatever generic feminist goofy ass shit, whatever the narrative is she spins on a daily basis. And you would think she's single by the posts that she makes, but she's not. She has a relationship.
Yeah.
But she had, while she was in a relationship, on the late night, about 2, 3 in the morning, she liked like 3 of my pictures on Instagram. Not no new pictures, because I don't post pictures like that on Instagram.
You gotta go and dig a bit.
You gotta dig.
Search the name.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
she searched my name and liked a couple pictures. So I thought something of it, but I didn't even think to act on it. I just, okay, that's funny. She's in a relationship. She's a goofy bitch.
Facts.
She's everything I thought she was. So I was just looking, and then here we are, 5, 6, 7 months later. I seen her story. She talking about, well, you a piece of shit if you a dude, and then you like a girl's pictures late night, or you searching pictures and this, that, and the third. And I was like, I went in the jewelry room. I was like, yo, she did this to me though. Just showed him the story. And I was like, should I even say anything? And I was like, I got time tonight. I got time tonight. So I was like, yeah, but you did that to me though. So what you talking about? And boy, she was looking like, oh wait, Darrell Revis out there with the back pedal.
She was back pedal like a motherfucker. Turn them hips.
The back and forth was so funny. Like, just to wrap it up, she was trying to like, but I'm saying though, it's different. Da 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 da. I'm like, well, how is it different? She was like, well, he searched for girls' Instagrams and liked them.
And she said, I happened to come across your page or some weird shit.
I don't post it. You didn't have to come across nothing.
She tried to do everything she could to differentiate how they work different.
To make her not sound like the piece of shit she is.
What made me no good, she was like, but I'm saying we friends though. And I looked at that message like, no the fuck we not. And then she blocked me right after that.
Bro,
mind you, I've never had a real conversation outside of dick pussy with this girl.
Ladies, whenever you upset about something, and the argument has gone not your way, essentially, if you say some shit real quick, you get this long ass fucking novel that you write out to me, and then within the minute that you send that off, you block me, you know you wrong about something. You're not trying to hear a response. Yeah, every time that I was, because I was talking to a nigga about that when that happened, and I was like, yo, every time that's occurred when I got blocked, 'cause I'm only blocked by a few random chicks on Instagram.
I'm blocked by 11, bro.
It's because I speak the truth. And it's like, I speak the truth, we be going back and forth on argument.
11?
He got the nigga, you
I don't be doing nothing, bro. Like, out of the 11, bro.
I don't date fat bitches. I don't be doing nothing, dog.
Yo, out of the 11 bros who I'm blocked by, I've only fucked 2 of them. So I've done nothing to to you.
But feelings just get hurt.
Oh, well, that's your feelings,
That's the
bitch.
way it works. Exactly.
But and I say that story to say, like, obviously I was not friends with that girl, but I'm just like, yeah, I think you can be. It's more believable for me to be friends with somebody I've had sex with. But a nigga just be like, nah, bro, we never had sex or nothing. We just cool. It's just like I vibe with her, and we just like we like each other. We know each other. We just feel like we could. No, nigga. Cause like the minute that pussy come into play, it's a different story. So it's more believable for me to be like later on down the road, it's like, are we really friends? Maybe not, but I can take you more as a friend kind of person, a step above an acquaintance, because we've had sex. And now it is genuine, because I don't want anything from you. I've already got that from you.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not think that would be a take on that question. I thought it would be kind of the opposite. But I see what you're saying.
I don't want to be friends with no
I was
bitch.
expecting that.
Nah.
See,
Sometimes I be coming with some little shit though.
So what you thinking, Mike?
If you already got the pussy, and now you like, let's be genuine friends, and she's trying to fuck again, you gonna keep fucking, or you like, nah?
I might, if it was cool, I might. That don't mean I can't be genuine.
Yes, it does!
Hold on, I didn't correct myself. I still don't think I can be real genuine friends with a woman. But if like I said, you can be a step above an acquaintance for me as a woman. If it's like after we've had sex and we have a rapport where we know each other, we talking to each other or whatever, if we still even talking to each other, you may hit me 3 months later, hey, what's up? Oh, no, I ain't shit. And we just talking and catching up. You ain't my friend. But we can have a rapport to where we cordial and it ain't no wild shit. And if you want to throw me some pussy, I'll oblige if it was cool. Or if I'm in a situation, I'll leave it alone, because what I won't do, I don't engage in broads. And I hear people say shit like this is toxic, and it's like, oh, you can't talk to somebody just because you're in a relationship. I don't really engage with chicks like that if I'm in a relationship. I don't. It's just like, I'm not trying to put on no front, but I don't feel the need to, dog. I don't feel the need to engage with chicks like that in my relationship, dog. It just makes for too much bullshit.
But I don't think so. I think once you get in the cheeks, afterwards it's like, alright, cause it's like, before you fucked, what were y'all that once y'all fucked, after it's like, now let's be friends? Because if it was just a fuck, we can just be fucked.
Right, and then pussy can complicate things. I'm not saying it
you know
can't.
So I don't think so. Now we're talking about being sexually active with in the past, and it's like, yeah, let's just be friends now. It's like, nah, because either two things gonna be happening. I'm gonna keep fucking, or it was trash, I didn't like it, and I ain't really trying to fuck you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If you gave me the trash coochie, I don't want to be around you anyway.
That's true. And it's like, if she hit me off the, hey, what's up? Nothing, bitch. Like, nothing's up. Like, the sky's upside down. Nothing.
I feel like, what about you? With me, brother, I mean, it can vary, but I would say if I had to speak to it, it's going to be a no. I tried that. I had sexual interactions. What did Bill Clinton say? I had sex. What did he say?
I did not have sexual relations.
So I did have.
You did, Bill.
I did have sexual relations with one woman at one point in time, and that's kind of what I was speaking to her. So I didn't want to dive too much into that because I knew that I was going to be bringing this up. But me and her, how can I put this? I want to make this a short story because it's a bit long. But me and Shorty were dealing with each other for like a few months. You do a few months, couple months, or whatever have you. And she at the time only had one body. But this is a joint that I liked. You know what I'm saying? So when we would link up or whatever, and hang out.
Different though, bitch.
That what you was saying, bro?
Yes, nigga.
So I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I like to give you a chance to show me that you can be. And in the beginning, she did a good job of it. So we talking for a few months, kicking it. We wasn't having sex, but she let it be known, like, you know, it's not that I don't want to do that because I do foresee that, but I want some time. So we was hooking up, like, not hooking up, but she sucked me up.
Okay.
So I go there, we have a good time, whatever, she get done doing that. So we would make that a thing of what we would do, but it was almost like she was pushing toward the idea of getting closer to the relationship before she did it. She even at one point in time was like, yo, I gotta let you know, like, I would prefer to be in a relationship before I even do that with you. And I told her shit about it, like, all right, that's cool, I respect it, peace. And then she started once again Revis Island. Hey, turn this way, backpedal, start back. Oh no, I don't mean it that way. Like you get like it went from
you had to meet her friend, or did her friend like you got to meet you?
I shut that shit down too. Like it was just
her friend had it.
I had to I forgot, like she was saying like I would have to meet her friend. It was before I even got a chance to meet her on our first date. Right. And she was like, my friend wanna get to know. I guess to try to read the nigga out. And I was like, I don't even know you well enough to give a fuck about what your friend want from me. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So I told her no, we not doing that. So then I kinda did what I had to do to imprint my way early. And then like she did that shit or whatever, and she tried to like sauce me with the whole like, yeah, you gotta be in a relationship before I give out sex. It's not happening. So she saw how I was coming. So it got to a point where I knew like, yo, I was getting tired of going her to get my dick sucked. I was like, it's nothing coming from this.
She was a middle-aged woman, right? Like,
what you mean say middle-aged?
Like mid to late 20s?
Yeah. So
she grow up.
So I was like, yeah, I'm just out of it. Like it's no disrespect, cause I'm not killing you. I still got love for you. Still cool people. It just wasn't gonna work with me and her. So like, I was like, I'm cool. I'm all
wouldn't have liked you.
And mommy, just like this is some real advice for women out there in general. Stop telling dudes that you gotta be in a relationship with them for them to fuck, because that might sound cool. Hold on.
You know
that might sound cool for you. And you might not be fucking, but he gonna be fucking.
Let me finish.
Some niggas had to do that.
So, I cut that off or whatever, we stopped, right? But I tried to take it to the front page. Just getting back to that subtopic where it's like, can you be friends with somebody you sexually active with? So, cause she was cool people. Right. And I like to keep people that's cool within my circle. Like, alright, I fuck with you though. So like, I give her advice on certain things, she give me advice on certain things. So, all of a sudden, she get this new nigga coming around, and one day she hit me, she's like, yes, I was hooking up with somebody. I was working. I was like, fuck you mean hooking up? I was like, what, you was sucking dick? She was like, nah, like, it's somebody that I know from years from college, and like, we friends with benefits now, so he fucking. I said, excuse me? I was like, you had me sitting here, I was thinking about waiting to finale because I knew you wanted to get closer to the relationship. I debated that. Once I realized that wasn't for me, I was out of it. You going to then come back to me and tell me you was giving some niggas that you just, now you giving pussy up with friends with benefit status? And you gotta go. So the reason for me, because it's always like he was saying in that regard to generalize with his response to that, it's like it's always going to be something that's going to further complicate the friendship. So therefore, the chances of it truly existing in a genuine manner slim to none. And I learned that, and that's why I say looking at it from the outside in now, where it's like, yeah, that's not really a good thing. Because something's going to go left. Y'all going to have some sort of argument, some sort of disagreement that probably falls in line with what y'all was doing in the past and why y'all didn't work out intimately, and now it just fell apart. So it was one of those things where I just learned from that, like, man, that shit.
Or it'll be a situation like, okay, we friends, and then you like, yeah, I'm finna go fuck something, and they get upset.
Oh, I thought we was friends. What happened?
Because that can happen though. You add the idea.
I like other pussies.
And it's okay to do that, but you adding that's what I'm saying, you adding the aspect in a platonic manner, but you're adding the aspect of a female's feelings. They always gonna find a way to play a part in something that they should not be playing a fucking part in. It's just going to occur. So with me personally, it's like, I understand the benefit that some of y'all fellas might think y'all get from platonic friendships. And look, different strokes for different folks. It might work for y'all, but for me, man, nah. It's just too many things that outweigh the bullshit you about to bring my way. And if I do come across the queen that I like, and I used to fuck with you, like I used to fuck with you in that way, but we just friends, and say I got a new joint that I'm really feeling. Now, if I want to be brutally and truthfully honest with her, I gotta be like, yeah, this somebody, like, we tried it, but it didn't work out, but she cool. How do you think my new queen gonna feel about that? That's what I'm saying, ladies, that baggage claim shit. Real niggas make sure, like, look, I'm gonna clear that before you even get a point. I'm gonna do what I can to clear that as much as I can before you get a point to introduce yourself to me in that light. Can you do that? Can you do that, though? Because I don't think you really can. I don't think you're capable.
Well, that means that you take a long, hard look at yourself and ask yourself, accountable.
Accountability. That's some shit you're not gonna see too often. So yeah, to wrap that one up, it seems like we kind of all agreed on that, like that sexual passion.
You can't be in front of no bitch. Sorry.
But I do I mean, that's what, like, wrapping that shit back to the previous episode with friends with benefits. That's why I like it, but I don't like. It's just a dangerous game. When I'm trying to play friends with bitches, it's a dangerous motherfucking game, and I prefer to not do that at all. So getting into the second topic of today, we're gonna speak on exes.
Woo! This gonna be a good one.
So it kind of wraps into the idea of that whole friendship shit. Do y'all believe, and y'all whoever want to take the floor first can take it, do y'all believe that you could be friends with an ex?
I tried. That shit does not work. I tried. I tried actually with both of my exes before, and it just doesn't work. With one, we ended up just having sex again.
Which is more than likely gonna
like we were cool at first, y'all. We went to get some ice cream.
Who proposed the idea of being friends?
We were talking. You know what's crazy? It was never just proposed. It was kind of like we just gonna hang out and just be cool and just talk about it. Like, oh, like we never really had the "what are we" question. It was kind of like I just came back from school. I was back around. We finished just hang out.
I was handing in.
Like we just hung out. I'm trying to think, did I reach out first? I might have reached out first. I might have reached out first. Like, yeah, I'm just back in town, blah blah blah. We went and got some ice cream or something. Went and seen a movie. And it was cool, but for me it was like, okay, now that we aren't like looking at our relationship level, you kind of annoying now. Like, the things that you did that we were together,
that you put up with,
that I put up with, now that we aren't together, this shit is annoying.
The immersion has been broken. You see past like the glitz and glam of the bullshit of the relationship. It's like, damn, I don't like you like that.
I don't, it's not, and then it was just sexual attention. Like,
yes, that's going to create much of a bigger
sexual
issue.
attention. We're together, we by ourselves with sexual attention. Until it happened. I think it happened twice, and then now we don't talk anymore.
Yeah,
except for like Instagram stories,
like random, shit like that. Don't mean nothing at all. Nothing of substance.
Nothing. And then for the next one, we just like, oh, we're gonna try to be friends a little bit, and then it was just like, nah, I'm not really on that.
Damn, what you thinking, big?
Friends with your ex. I personally don't think you can. It's been like, now, your ex and then like situationships and shit, I think that's different because it's like I've done that with situationships and wasn't friends, but it's like, let me snake my way back into simplicity again. It was like that where it's like, yo, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Can I come over? So it was like that where it's like, that's not even me being a friend, that's just me trying to fuck with me.
Yeah.
It was successful. But like as far as like a relationship, I personally wouldn't want to. I thought about that before after breakups that I've had. Like, damn, could I be friends with this person? But it's just like,
yeah, I want you to specify for the public though, like, cause that's why I was kind of curious as to your thoughts on this because my nigga, we were able to kind of understand different aspects of life because he was running the streets like a motherfucker. He was a situationship man, but he did have one serious relationship. So that's why I was curious of your answer because it's like, how looking at it from just that viable one actual relationship, like how do you take that question?
Initially, like after the breakup, it's like, could I? You try to leave it on good notes, like it's not necessarily verbalized, but it's like, all right, we could try to maybe be friends. But then after the breakup subsides, and then like you out of the breakup stage where you kind of feel bad about shit, maybe after a month or two or whatever, we all have our different recovery time. So however long it takes you, could be a month, could be a year, however long it takes you. So it's just like, after I came out of my time, I was like, nah, I don't want to be friends with her. Not that that person's a bad person, she's a good person, but it's like, we can't exist on that kind of plane. Like, we can't exist on that level because of the level we were once on. Now, we can both exist in this world as people, but as far as like existing as friends or something along those lines, I personally don't believe so. And I can only speak from my experience. I wouldn't want to because it's like anything that we do on a friend level would still be quantified because of the time that we spent together. It's not like you my friend because you didn't come into my life as my friend. You came into my life as my girlfriend, as somebody I was in a relationship who I love. So it's like, I don't think that can happen successfully. I'm sure people have made it work. I'm not saying that don't happen. But for me, I look at it as like, dude, I don't care about what my ex does. Like, it's like, she lives her life, I live mine. Right. I don't care to know what somebody I'm no longer dating with, no longer tied with is doing. And I hope she carries that mantra for me. Because it's like, we not getting back together. Not saying that she wants that. But it's like, we cannot exist in that way, whether it's a relationship or a friendship. I just don't want that, one, because I already come from the school of I'm not friends with women. I don't have female friends. So it's like, one, you're already not coming back in my life off that. And two, it's like, we already share so much of a bond that it's like, I don't look at you in a terrible way, and I would hope you don't look at me in a terrible way, but it's just like, I don't want to entertain or play myself into thinking like, we're really friends. It's like, we used to exist on such a high level, why would I want that?
And that's the one part of it that I find interesting, because to answer that question, like, I side with it with you because like I attempted that. I mean, I've had like, out of all my relationships.
How many exes have y'all had? Like, how many exes do y'all have?
Genuinely one.
For him. For me, I've had 3.
I have genuinely 3.
So like I want to say with 2 of the 3.
Couple female crowds like,
you have me, motherfucker. No. But no, you don't make the But even though I might have told you that you were making.
I like you. What you mean one?
I lied.
One.
I'm not sure.
Singular. But no, I mean for me, like out of the 3, I tried to actually.
I should cat, bitch. I'm sorry.
I try to actually make a genuine friendship out of too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the toughest out of all of that was because like one of them was like, you know, like a serious thing for me where when that ended, you know what I mean, I made my move back. I was in Rhode Island with that one. But when I came back to Delaware, like we was so, like B was saying, like we were so deeply rooted that it's hard to imagine your life, even if it is just a friendship, without that person. So I was trying to do things, I mean, we would talk on a regular, like we talking every day, like just random shit though, like shit that don't matter and have any kind of, you know, any equity in a relationship. We wasn't fucking talking about that. But it was things that I realized with that, it's kind of like, this is not going to work. It's not what it's supposed to be. Because I was dealing with a new chick. Then the new chick kind of came across the information like, yo, are you still like, do you still have a connection with your ex? And I'm like, no, it's not that we are like together in that light or we care for each other in that light, but we do talk, we keep up with each other, yeah.
Right.
And then like she expressed, at that time I wasn't understanding, but she was expressing her concern with that and was like, nigga, I don't want you to be doing that. Like I understand what you're saying and why you trying to sauce it up to make it seem okay, but it's not.
Right.
And in my head, what you mean? Like it's not that, you should trust me and everything I say. I was being a fucking stern dumbass, and then I'm sitting there thinking like, no, she has a legitimate point, Jordan. You shouldn't actually be doing that because out of respect, if you really sit down with yourself and look yourself in the mirror, would you be okay with her doing that? And I can tell niggas over and over and over and over again that it's okay. But I prefer you not.
You ever hid that from a girl you was talking to? New girl you was talking to, and she asked you, you still friends with your ex, or what's the terms y'all want?
Honestly,
you ever kept it from somebody?
I feel like during the times that I was really genuinely trying to make that happen, no, like I was actually being honest about it and speaking to it where it was like, they knew that it might have been a thing. Now I'm not going to just be like out of nowhere, like, yeah, my name Jordan, that third. I be talking to my motherfucking ex. Like,
but if she asked you though, like
if she, yeah,
it depends on it. Like I said, like for me, it just depends on what I was trying to do with the female. Like most of the time, most people I dealt with, I would have still been in contact with my ex regardless of what they said. So I would just be like, no, I don't talk to her.
Right.
I'm a hard back, but that nigga better be dead to the world and you.
But
Fact.
if it was something that I was really trying to talk to, I probably would stop talking to my ex because, like Jordan said, you can be like, no, we just gonna talk to be cool. Then you think like,
yo,
damn.
Side note, like we was out Philly one late night before it was me, you and Jordan. And then I was just perplexed by the fact that, remember your ex called you on FaceTime and you was just sitting outside talking? This exists?
That's the relationships that I had.
Am I the alternate universe?
That's the one, that's the ex that I was trying to be friends with, we ended up fucking. But that was kind of our relationship.
You said what?
That was the one I said I tried to be married when I was friends with two. Because one's in Texas, two's in Delaware. So when I was trying to be friends with her, we just ended up fucking. But that's how our relationship would be probably since I was a youngin' in high school.
Right.
We wouldn't talk, get drunk, we call, we conversate, we catch up, then we don't talk for weeks. But that was just a relationship. But we knew that like if I call, she's gonna answer. If she called, I'm probably gonna answer.
Right.
No matter where I'm at. I was out in the club. Niggas like, come on, bro. What the fuck?
You trying to go to Club Wild Wild, you know after the let out, you trying to go to Club Wild Wild.
Yeah, facts, nigga, it's shut down.
Yeah, they shut that shit down. But yeah, I mean though, like that's why I said I think I had to learn from experience that I don't think that could really be a thing. Because like I said, if I hadn't did that with my first like long-term ex, well, that's not my first long-term ex, but my most recent long-term ex, like I tried to make that genuine friendship like I tried to make it exist out of the realm of like, damn, like this, she was in my life for 4 years, bro. Right. So it's like, I can't see myself living life without this person, even if it is just on some platonic shit. But it's like, she needed to grow in her way with us not discussing shit. I needed to grow in my way with us not discussing shit. And I think we've taken those two paths successfully because of that. So I think it's just on the safer side to like not really try to entertain that. I get why motherfuckers might want to and try to force the issue with it, but it's a dangerous game that you play. You can find, because if you keep yourself mentally connected to that, even if y'all are both actively dating, you can still not really be within your sense of self and you're not finding something successful outside of that. You could have motherfuckers lined up that really fuck with you, that want to get to know you, and you want to get to know them, but a piece of your brain is still kind of connected to that ex, and that's a dangerous game.
Be using their ex as a crutch because a lot of motherfuckers don't know how to exist outside of certain relationships. They be so rooted, male and female, they be so deep rooted in their old relationship, even though it's decimated, it's no longer there, it don't exist. But they use that shit as a crutch to be like, well, I'm gonna go out here and fuck with females, or I'm gonna go out here and fuck with dudes, but it's like, and that shit ain't gonna work, but let me hit my ex up, see what they doing. We just gonna talk. Da-da-da. Like, you're using that as a crutch to, like, not really put yourself all the way back out there. And then people will be like, well, see, I'm just not having no luck. No, nigga, you're putting your eggs in 2 different baskets. If you put all your eggs back into the street, you can find what you're looking for, but you got all your...
Cash it all in.
You got 2 baskets. One basket's the streets, and one basket's your old relationship. So it's like, you can't operate and be successful if you're doing that. Put them all in the streets.
Yo, both said this at the same time.
Yo, we say in the streets to be funny, but that just means get back out there into the dating world. Like, you can't be successful if you're still harping on your ex, dog. Like, that's why it's like, it's imperative in my experience. You need to take time after your breakup and just hold yourself outside of, like, I'm a dude, so I'm talking about dealing with women. Mm-hmm. Don't just dive in back in it, fucking with bitches and shit like that. Like, take some time to readjust yourself and be like, all right, this is me outside of my relationship, because you know, while you're in a relationship, I don't want to say you're one entity, but you are. It's you and another person. Now, obviously, you have a life outside your relationship.
Right.
That gives the balance, but it's like, once that relationship and that bond is no longer there, especially after you've been with somebody for an extended period of time, you need to take time to decompress, to get back to who you are outside of dealing with another person. And again, it's different times for different people. It could be a couple weeks, could be a month, could be a year. Who knows? It's you.
Take that time.
So it's like, you take that time, and then when you're ready, because the last thing you want to do is go back out into the streets when you still thinking about your ex.
Niggas do that.
Bro, I see it all the time.
You fumble the bag, baby.
You gotta
You're not gonna be successful.
Completely over your ex before you move on.
Yes.
But the thing with guys, it's kind of harder to really accept that, say that, and then be like, I'm gonna move on and I'm good. Most of the time, niggas still be hurt from the girl in 8th grade and high school. So I'm gonna just, that's where the ain't shit cheating niggas come in. Like, I don't trust no girl. Be like, damn, bro, what happened? My girl cheated on me in 9th grade. And
but see, I think, and that's also a toxic trait of us as men, because, you know, from younger ages, and I don't say this is used as a crutch, but like, we're taught to kind of like internalize those feelings and not really express it, not really live through them. Yeah, bottle that shit up. Right, so, what's the quickest way and the easiest way when you deal with? Yes, you just move out quick, and that's why honestly, like when because his I think out of all our breakups, Brandon's is probably the freshest, and like we was living together when that shit happened.
7 months out.
Yeah, so like I was as his man's, like I'm thinking like nigga fresh out the game with a hose, that what you trying to get into, nigga? But like he'll interact and like still be he'll let that be a thing, but it's also like understand my nigga, I'm about to not invest too much into this because I'm still trying to work my way through it, but it's a reaction of your homie to be like, nah, nigga, like let's go through this. I don't know why the fuck you do that, because you know you trying to keep your man.
You my man, so you trying to keep me in good spirits, and that shit to me happened at the perfect time if I had to go through a breakup, because it's like I broke up at like the beginning of COVID, so it's like all the clubs, all the bars, all that fly shit that we would do to entertain women and be around women was closed down. So it's like I had no choice but to be with myself and understand myself and be like, all right, nigga, it's Saturday night, we ain't going nowhere. It's Friday night, we ain't going nowhere. My birthday passed, the weather was perfect, we ain't doing shit. So it's like, that's to me, and obviously this is like a once in a lifetime thing where that shit would happen, but it's like, for me, my breakup happened, and not saying my breakup was perfect or anything, like nobody wants that kind of shit, but relationships have to end if they're not working, but it's like, I am okay with the fact that it happened around the time it did happen, because it's like I wasn't just overwhelmed with like, because I know these niggas were like, yo, we out, and I'd have been with it, but it'd been like, to what avail? What am I? Obviously, I'd have been out there, I'd have been talking to chicks, get chicks' numbers, probably hooking up with chicks, but that wouldn't have been the best option. That wouldn't have been the best for me, because I was still having to take time to process getting over it. And don't get it fucked up. The best way to get over some old pussy is some new pussy. But in that regard, if we just talking about pussy, that's a dime a dozen. That shit is not scarce, and a lot of you bros need to realize that y'all shit is not special. You're not sitting on a pocket full of gold. Because the next bitch got it. So it's like, when you coming out of a breakup, dog, at least I can say for me, I think it was good that I didn't have those vices to go to where I was just like, all right, let me see what the bros doing this weekend, or where we at, oh, they over here, nah, it wasn't none of that. It wasn't no we going out, because we could not. So it's like it allowed me to get more familiar with myself, to readjust myself out of a breakup, establish myself who I am again in this dating world with women, and be like, all right, I'm ready to be back out here, however long it took. And I feel like that's what a lot of people don't do on the male side and the female side.
That's 100%, bro. That's some real shit. And that's why, like, for me, like, I much rather take that time, understand that I gotta kind of fix something within, internalize and figure out what it is I need to get to, before I decided to date. And then also with that friendship shit, that's why it's kind of like you're not going to be able to completely heal yourself, even if, just like I said, that connection. Y'all might think it's the smallest of the small, the most platonic shit ever. It's like that don't matter because that person still has an existence in your life, and they gonna find a way to seep through shit that they shouldn't really be seeping through. And now it's eating up where your quality is eating up where your trajectory is supposed to. Like you just fucking all kinds of shit up. So. And that actually kind of spins into the next little question that I got for y'all fellas. What do y'all feel as though, like when it comes to this, give me one thing that you feel like you learned about yourself internally after the relationship. Like something that you either worked on or still working on because you realized it was an issue when you was in that past relationship.
For me, being as though my first 2 exes that I knew that I've dealt with in Delaware, I've knew since I was like 18. Me was like, okay, looking back, I had to grow up. So when that happened, when there was a stretch from like, probably like me being 21 to like now, I kind of grew up and wasn't really the same person I was. When I started talking to my exes again, that's when I knew for me, I'm like, okay, whatever how we broke up, wherever how we ended, they haven't understand that that's not who I am anymore.
Right.
So when I took that time to be like, okay, and I went through what I went through, I was able to say to myself, you were immature, you were doing some bullshit, but I was able to acknowledge that. It took me some time, but having those breakups and actually keeping those relationships and talking to them and having our talks, now, when I talk to them now, I'm kind of like, okay, I kind of understand that I had to grow up as a man.
Just as a man.
So when I'm talking to them now, we're having our conversations, I feel like they still see me as the same 19-year-old young boy running around here, and I'm trying to come on a different level, a kind of older level. I felt like, okay, that's where the disconnect was. So for me, internally, it was just, you gotta grow up.
It was like the maturity.
And it's not like, I'm not saying like, oh, my age and how I look at women. Nah, I'm talking about like myself.
Yeah, mature at any point in time. You can
like,
be 50 and still mature in certain
aspects. So I was like, with myself, how I handle things, my thought process. That was what I had to mature as a kid, 18, 19 to being 25. Like, okay. And I used my ex's relationships, how we ended, the shit we went through, as like a little stepping stone. Like, all right, I ain't trying to go through that no more, and I'm really not trying to put a female through that shit anymore.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So when I kind of looked at that and was able to handle that in the situation, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of more mature now. I can kind of handle a situation with dating a little differently than I handled it with my exes.
Right. I like that. That was a good one. What about you, Big?
For me, I'd have to say patience and understanding, for real. I say patience because it's like, especially like that was a previous relationship of mine. It was like, that's something I made sure I poured everything into. I wanted to be 100% in that relationship. I didn't want to half-ass that shit because I've seen that shit before and I've seen that shit not work out and fizzle out.
Right.
So it's like, at times, like I know I was not the most patient boyfriend. I know like I would be dealing with somebody like my ex, and there would be situations where it's like, if I'd have just had a little more patience, or I was just more understanding of where my ex may have been coming from, we could have quelled certain arguments. Now, the relationship was going to be what the relationship was. I'm not saying this is not a rope to be like...
Endpoint is the end point.
No, the end point was still going to be there, but it's like, I learned from that, like, I need to understand that not everybody is Brandon. Not everybody likes the shit that Brandon likes. Not everybody is going to want to do the shit that Brandon want to do. And you have to understand that people operate outside of you.
Yeah.
People operate outside of you in your own world. So it's like, you have to be understanding that people are going to want to do things their own way. And you can't look at it like, well, because you're not doing it like this, no, it's not a problem. You got to let people get to their destination on their own time. So it's just like, while I was in my relationship, like, I just noticed we would get into arguments, and it would just be like, I would be in the middle of arguing, like, damn, why we even arguing? Like, this is not even making sense. It's just like, no.
But the moments be having, you like, what the fuck is we doing?
So it's just like, if I'd have just, and I'm gonna put it on me. I have to put it on me. I'm not leaving it up to nobody else. It's like, if I were just to take the time to, be more understanding of where my ex could have been coming from in certain situations and be a little more available in instances, like, I think I could have avoided some unnecessary arguments or some unnecessary misunderstandings. Not saying that would have been the case all the time,
right.
because shit's still gonna happen. It is a two-way street.
Right.
She would have to bend, I would have to bend. But it's just like, I know that going into my next relationship, I feel like I would be easier to deal with. Just talking about my flaws, I would be easier to deal with as a partner because I've seen what I don't like. I've seen where I've been bad at in a relationship and be like, all right, that partly served as a catalyst as to why I'm not in a relationship no more. Let me make sure I don't carry that over to the next relationship so I can actually be better for the next woman that I'm with.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of those things between understanding and patience kind of stood out for me, and I was like, all right, let me take these things over into the next facet of wherever my life goes with whoever, and be like, all right, I can make it work from there.
I like that. I like both of your answers on that one. For me specifically, I kind of actually agree with like half of my response would be the patience. Like Brandon said, I learned a lot of that. It'd be patience and risk taking. I learned a lot getting into it. Like with my last long term ex. Speaking more from the patience standpoint, like I feel like that was just honestly like a trait of her personality that rubbed off on me as time progressed. I agree with Brandon where it was like I was getting into things earlier in that relationship where it was like, it wasn't necessarily my way or the highway, but I always thought that I could lead and knew what was right compared to what was wrong. And she would have her input, not that I wouldn't take it in, but I would be quicker to not really listen to that and take that in.
Most of the time,
right.
Men.
So I looked at it like, I got this figured out. And as we got together and we were spending more and more time through the years, like I learned so much about how she was. She was like not a complacent person, but like she wasn't confrontational. She was like easy, kind of relaxed. Like she ain't like to get in arguments. And I was a hothead. My previous two relationships, we was always arguing about shit. So I kind of eased that into that relationship with her. But her personality in general, like she didn't really do much. She just taught me how to like, nigga, that ain't really the way you want to go about shit. Right. So even though like we said, the endpoint was our relationship. That was just what it was going to be. So like I never, was upset about that, but it was more so taken away from the fact that I'm like, I gotta make myself a better man for the next female that I take into my life that way. And I want to make sure I do that. Like, I be talking to my mom or family members, like, I take the whole, like, being a dad or, like, potentially being a husband. I want to be the best fucking dad I can be. I want to be the best fucking husband I can be.
Some of you bitches don't know nothing about it. That motherfucker is gone.
So, so that patience I learned, honestly, like I said, I can give her, kudos on that shit because it was just her genuine personality that taught me as time progressed when we ended that relationship. I'm like, damn, nigga, I really can just be patient and not be too concerned about getting shit when I want it, how I want it. So I would definitely say that played a big part and something that I still work through towards today. And that risk-taking shit is because she made a career leap for herself when we was living in Delaware, bro. Like, she came out of nowhere. Now, granted, how it went down, I wasn't crazy about it, but she had got a really good job opportunity for what she went to school for, which was hard to get a job opportunity in Rhode Island. And, like, it wasn't something that was really, like, explained to me the way that I think I would have liked in the beginning, but she looked at that situation and was like, yo, this is, like, possibly a life-changing aspect of me. Gotta make this leap. Now, for me, if I was in her shoes in that scenario, I wouldn't have done that. I never looked at her wrong for doing that because she had to do what she had to do as an individual. But in those kind of scenarios, I'm like, you got to
talk about this.
Yeah, yup. It's like it's a crossroad aspect to it too, though. It's like you not to use the age-old saying like you want to have your cake and eat it too, because I never understood. Like I want to eat my cake and I want to eat it too.
Why would I?
But
cake if I can't eat it?
But I looked at it. Like, she might have not been able to understand, like, that's good, and I understand why you had to take that opportunity. But for me, like, that may not just be the best thing that I need to get into. Right. So, when she made that leap, I took the leap with it. Like, I left my job, my apartment, all of that. Like, I left it all behind for her, and I wasn't able to piece my life together when I moved to Rhode Island in a way that she was already capable. She had a blueprint rolled out where I was, like, trying to scratch my shit while I was driving up there, like, trying to figure it out. But I learned from that when it all ended. I was like, she took that leap because she had to do what she had to do for herself as an individual. So it rubbed off on me in a way where I was like, nigga, in the next scenario where I could come across something, if I want to take that leap, I'm going to take that leap. Right. Because I understood and respected why she would do that. So it's like, I think that's like a real good question because I feel as though if you leave a relationship, especially if it's deeply rooted like that and nothing comes from it, like y'all, like you don't learn anything, then you just wasted years of your fucking life. Right. It's not about y'all working out. It's unfortunate that y'all didn't work out. Yeah. But you learned something nonetheless.
Yeah, so make sure you take something away from that relationship. Once it ends, because like, don't just be a bitter ex. Don't just be like mad at the world. And those emotions, those are fair to have. Not saying you can't have those emotions, but let let that not be the only thing you harbor from that relationship. Let that not be the only thing you take away. Learn something. Like, really look back at your relationship and see what you could have did better. Not saying try to make that relationship work again. No, because it's dead. See what you did wrong. What you did. Don't be like, well, she didn't. No, well, he didn't know. What did you do? Because you're not that person no more. You're not with them no more.
Not with them no more. So that shit is irrelevant.
All that shit that they did, man or woman, boyfriend or girlfriend, don't matter. What did you do? Take it over to the next one, internalize it, eat that shit and bottle it, and be like, all right, this is what I need to do for my next relationship so I don't have these same problems, yo. But a lot of motherfuckers, men and women, will not look at what they did. They just want to go around and tell everybody their ex ain't shit, or this, that, and the third, and all he did was this, or all she did was this, and it's no accountability in regards of what they did. And because a motherfucker will tell you on the day that his ex ain't shit, or fuck that nigga, he a clown. That's fine, but you're not together anymore. So why don't you look at what happened on your end and see how you can make yourself better?
It's funny that like B says that shit because we joke around and had this conversation all the time, but it's like it was times in that last relationship, bro. I'm not gonna hold you because when we was going through our hard times and trying to figure shit out, like it was difficult, obviously, but it was like I remember and he said the same thing about him. I was like, yo, sometimes I would sit and think like the ex before me, like. I would sit down and have dinner with that nigga just to pick his brain as to like what the fuck occurred in your situation when you was with my joint that didn't make it work out because I need to see if it's something that I'm doing or if this is the makeup of that person.
Yeah.
And that's what that lines with what you were just saying.
Yes. Like I would love to talk to my ex's ex and be like, let's talk about it. What happened?
What was going on there, Nat?
What happened? Because like of course it's like you know what you did as the person, but it's like, well, did you encounter the same problem with this?
Yes.
But it's cool to hear, but it don't really matter. We can ask those questions. It don't really matter. But we're inquisitive people. It's like sometimes you just want to fucking know. Like I want to know why. Was this only because of me? Because that may actually help me. That may actually help me in my game. Is like, okay, that was only me. That wasn't with him. So it's clearly something I did.
So you understand why you were saying you would know you would want to do that?
You know, I would rather have. And you know what's crazy? I've actually done this before. I've actually texted my exes like, what is something I could have improved on in our relationship?
Your ex.
I've sent
shoot that shit up.
I've sent all three of them. But this is like I said, when I met my last ex, it was completely different than when I met my other two exes. I was like 17 when I met them. So I wanted to see, because like I said, to me, I was like, I grew up, I'm matured. I'm not the same guy I was through the stuff I went through, my experiences. So I wanted to see if what I was preaching to myself, like, yeah, eternally, I'm cool, how they would respond. One didn't. One was like, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
But
bottled up ass hate.
The other one actually told me like, yeah, you was kind of ain't shit. You was a young nigga. Like, she kind of told me what I kind of thought. What I kind of knew, what I kind of thought, I just never really accepted back then. Like, yeah, get the fuck on my face. Like,
I'm me.
So, but yeah, that's a good question to ask him. Like, what were some things I could have done better? Or like, what did you really think was something that I could improve on?
I'm laughing because I think B responded that way because I can only imagine what his ex was saying if he gave her the opportunity to say some shit like that. Like, I think she would.
Well, she kind of gave me that on the way out.
She did.
My ex told me what.
But it was a bunch of. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
On the way.
We had bad breakups.
Yes and no, because it had to happen. But it was like, if you want to say it's bad, but I don't look at it and be like, I need to rekindle or anything like that. I don't have no ill feelings for my ex, but it's like I don't need to talk to that person again. I don't have to do that. So it's just like I know on the way out we both kind of voiced what we did to each other and the things we didn't like. So it's like I don't need to do that. I would never. I don't need to be like, I'm saying that what I do wrong. It's 3 a.m. though. Like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that shit because I don't. It's cool to do that and we can joke and say, let me hit my ex up. But you know what the fuck you did. You was there, nigga. You inside yourself. You know what
that's
you
true,
did.
B. But like,
see, it's not that I don't know what I did. It's
you just want to hear it from her?
It's not that I wanted to hear it. I just wanted to understand really where they were coming from on their aspect of their vision of me. Who they thought I was.
If she's saying you're selfish, what else you got? If she told you you're selfish on the way out, what you gotta be like? What you mean by that though?
But
like,
see, we never.
What you mean?
When we broke up, we never really had our talk. Like, this, and that. We never really had that conversation.
Right.
We kind of just, all right, I'm gonna go to school. You go this way. We kind of gonna keep conversation. We gonna just call, as y'all see, random nights when niggas is drunk. So I was kind of still left like kind of on the open, like I don't really know.
What exactly?
I know. I mean, I was doing my bullshit. I know the
but
shit
it's
I was
different
doing.
to hear from the
But
person that was
it's different
receiving
to
the
actually
shit.
hear it from them. Like some of the stuff they said wasn't even stuff that I was doing. I'm like,
Oh, we got
you know
that
what I'm
though.
saying?
We get
So it's
that.
like, what the fuck? I read some shit like, hell nah.
Right, but see that's why I think personally, looking at your situation from the outside and comparing it to Mike's, I think with you it's different because I'm not saying this to like smear your ex, but we know like it was one of them kind of things where it was like with her specifically, like it was almost like she could do no wrong, and that's why as his man's when he would come to me for advice about that shit, I will always like make sure that I like amplify the idea of like, yo, B, you doing everything you can, my nigga.
But
like,
I don't want to say I was doing everything I can though, because there was areas I wasn't doing everything I can. So I don't want to paint that picture like it was just like she could do absolutely no wrong, because it takes two to tango. So it's like
true, but even on the way out, it was like shit like that was talked about when you know like that wasn't true. Like I don't want, you know what I'm trying to say.
But I take that in stride, bro. It's like I was dealing with somebody, and this is no knock, but I was dealing with somebody that was 3 years younger than me. I already know I know what that is, bro. I'm not trying to call nobody immature, but it's just like I know what that is sometimes when the ego go into self-defense mode, like you say whatever you say.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Mike's was wrong for saying whatever she said, but it's just like at times it's like I don't need you to read me rights all the way for me to understand why we're not together.
That's what you're saying.
You can say whatever you want in the heat of the moment. You can say I'm the worst thing in the world, this, that, and the third, I'm a clown, this, that. That's fine, but at the end of the day, I know why we broke up, and I know the part that I played in that. And it's like, I don't need you to tell me that. You want to tell me, that's cool, but I don't see a venue where we would be doing that, but I know what I did wrong in my relationship. If my ex never told me, and she told me the facets, and whether she understands what facets she needs to work on, that's up to her. That's not my concern. That's for her to work out. I can't do that for you. I can only work on myself with me. So it's like at the end of my relationship, no matter what, I gather what I did wrong. I know what I did wrong, and I directly hone in on that and focus and be like, don't do that shit for the next go around because you want to be happy. We all want to be happy.
That's what it's about.
So make the necessary steps and changes to know yourself and learn yourself a little bit better after the breakup, so that shit don't happen again.
That's a good way to wrap that one down.
Thanks.
I
That
like
was a
what
good
y'all
wrap.
doing tonight.
That was a good wrap.
But being real though, but that's what I'm saying. Like these, especially like the first topic is kind of like something serious. You can joke around with this, but this is life altering shit that we talking about with this extra shit. So to get to another question, a little funny, little quick question. How do y'all feel when like the ex be showcasing the new nigga in the
Bro.
Oh my God, boy!
Listen,
Oh my
listen,
God!
let me go first, man.
This nigga Jordan.
First, I want to start with my niggas. If I block my ex, put their IGs, they're supposed to be under the dirt, put it in the little you know the ball you put in the little bottle you put in the ocean and throw it in the sea.
Oh yeah.
They dig it up, swim and go get it and bring it to me. Like, look, look. So
I definitely do that.
you know what I'm saying?
You right, that is really true.
So you gonna see it regardless, but I can honestly say with my first two exes, when they did it, my reaction was like, okay, I know I can still. If I still wanted to do what I wanted to do,
Still what?
if I still wanted to, like, if she like, they got a boyfriend, I'm so happy, I'm in love. I'm like, if I still hit you up for a conversation, I can.
Ooh.
Have
okay.
conversation, a phone call.
Pussy?
I wasn't around it.
Nah.
I wasn't around, so I don't know.
Do you believe?
Do I? I mean, I always say I believe, but
Take your confidence aside. Do you believe in a real way that if you hit your exes up right now, you can get some pussy?
one of them.
Okay, that's fair. I like that. That's honesty.
But my last ex,
I'm not with any of my exes.
my last ex,
No, I can't.
my last ex, I kind of did give it a shout out because it was like I was never posted.
Huh?
Like,
And I got a new queen on the way.
I was never. I was.
You been roll my eyes so bad. I'm happy for you. Why are you doing that? Why you side on me like?
Go ahead, Mike. I'm bad. Go
You're a
ahead.
funny nigga, man. Shout out to your new queen.
I was never posted. So when I went on the gram and the Twitter and I seen the post, I was kind of like,
Oh, this nigga get the IG
Oh.
time.
he get the IG time. But again, I kind of
You
look
started
at
clowning his fit, didn't you?
bro.
Y'all niggas really cousins.
Did you though, bro?
Y'all niggas really cousins.
I was kind of. No, it wasn't. I don't want to say that I was. Bro.
This nigga Jordan, man, it's hating on his ex.
He had the longest plaid shirt on.
Oh my God.
Come on, bro. I'm like, I kind of looked at her like, come on.
Cause it's not a reflection of yourself, but it's just like, that's what we doing.
Nah, and it wasn't that I was jealous because
Y'all feel like y'all ex is downgraded.
yes.
I see.
Well,
I
don't want to say
that.
Let me not just say yes so fast.
Yeah, you say yes.
I say yes fast because I'm the most super confident. So if it ain't me, it ain't he. If it ain't me or my niggas, it can't be. It can't be better than me.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
Talk about it, black man.
I don't want it to be like, you know what, you can find better. Because if I was the best, she would still be with me.
That's not true. That's not true.
You don't think so?
If you were the best, no, because people, I'm not going to say men or women, people fuck up good relationships all the time. People fuck up good situations all the time. So don't be like, if I was the best man, no, you could have been. But I don't know your ins and outs of your relationship. No. I don't know whose fault it was. It could have been both of y'all. But don't be like, nah, if I was the best man, no, because sometimes people just fuck up situations. That don't mean you wasn't the best man.
And I was just about to say that. With my last ex that's in Texas who was having a post, we ended in a great way. Like, we ended kind of like, okay.
You get some goodbye pussy?
I did.
There you go.
We was actually together when I first came back home. But it was kind of like, I'm not coming back to Texas. For like, to live there.
Right.
And she ain't really about to come over here, so where we finna go with this? Right. So that's how we kind of ended.
Right.
My thing was, I ain't never get to post love. Now it's like,
yeah. See, it be little shit like that.
Honestly, when I first seen it, I'm like, okay, maybe it was because in Texas I was kind of like,
you was too cool for school.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, yeah. So it could have, I don't know, it could have been like, I don't want to post this nigga and bitches like, oh,
you. Yo, you seen the meme on Instagram where it's like, I was laying on this nigga chest and I heard bitches laughing at me in there.
I did see that. It was like if you lay with a nigga heart, if you lay with a nigga heart, you can hear his bitches laughing. So it could have been that. I don't know, but for my first two exes, the ones that are here, I never gave a fuck about that. I still don't.
Okay.
Talking shit.
But the last one, it was kind of like, why the fuck they get the post and I did.
Okay.
And then when I seen him, I was like, you posted this nigga. Come on, bro.
I feel like, but see, I feel like, cause when B said like, are you saying, cause then you asked Mike the question like, where it's like, do you feel as though you were better than him? Like the dude nigga, or did you say that? He was like, do you feel as though you're better? Is that what bothered you?
He was like, he said, something I said yes real fast.
Yeah. So when you asked him that question, like for me, I don't, with that specific, I didn't think that seeing the new nigga. It was the funny.
I remember the day this nigga called me and he found out
but the funny shit about when I seen the new nigga.
Clown this nigga for 35 minutes.
Bro, come on, dog. It wasn't that long. It might be like 35.
I was
but nah, on some real shit. Shout out to y'all, real love, whatever. Did you? So.
No,
but then
I hope your relationship don't work.
The day of, I lie you not, the day that I got that joint, it was when I was literally leaving. I had just had breakfast in the morning with one of my friends at Benefits. I stayed the night at her crib. We just got done eating breakfast. I stopped at the gas station to get gas in my car.
Right.
Open up Instagram and here go her and this new nigga. And
you leaving up out pussy and she can't post her nigga.
It was the reason why I was saying it because I know my ex, like she wasn't really like, she ain't that crazy active on Instagram and like Facebook. She might post here and there, but that's not really her thing. Right. But when I saw that, I'm not gonna lie, like you said, fresh off of pussy, it was like a little initial sigh. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be like, I'm a tough guy. I'm still kind of weird.
I can say that, me too.
I knew she was dating. You know she get fucked. It's weird to see it.
Yeah.
So I looked at it, and then I kind of was like, oh no, this ain't nothing to like. I can't compare this to that. Like, this is something different. Now, I'm not gonna throw a jokey joke in. It's like
that nigga was having a stand-up special on the phone with me, talking about this nigga fit, bro. Alright.
So,
but I can say though, that's to his niggas. You like you said, you gonna make the jokes of what I'm saying?
And I'm pretty sure when I post up pictures in my joint, I wouldn't be mad. Cause you know the girlfriend. Her girlfriend's slaughtering your new bitch. If you post a new bitch, your ex may not. Your ex might be like, oh, she looks prettier than me, and bitch like, look at that bitch, like trying to just kill her to make you look better.
Right.
So I know that's just you know back and forth. Let me, cause I didn't get a chance to ask you a question. Go ahead.
Look, I'm not on my ex.
A new nigga.
I don't know if my girl ex has a.
Do you follow?
Yeah, I was trying to reiterate the question. I'm sorry. But go ahead.
Do you follow her?
No,
but okay, never mind.
stop.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't follow her on nothing. So to my knowledge, I don't know what she's doing. If she has a new nigga, that's part of the game. So it's like that's not no alarms going off. Now of course I'm saying that, but I don't know. I don't know if she has a new dude, and I don't know what he looks like. I don't need that. It means nothing to me. May I act that different? May I feel a different way if I see it in my face? Maybe, I don't know. But I'm well beyond that point. Not saying that y'all aren't, because it do hit a little different when you actually see it. Because you can hear all day she got a man, her mama can tell she got a man, but when you see dude, then it's like, damn, I'm better than him here. So I get that. I don't know if she has a new dude. It's her business and her business alone. I don't follow her on nothing, so it's like I'm not privy to nothing. Right. And I really don't care. And I ain't trying to put up no facade because a nigga was fucked up after the breakup. I'm not even about to lie to you. Right. But I took time though.
Yeah.
But it's like, so it's like she could be fucking with a nigga that's in the NBA, a nigga that's an actor, whatever. He could make this amount of money. He could whatever. I don't care because I have no tie to that person no more. It doesn't affect me on an emotional level no more. Whatever you do, it don't. I'm not inside of. We no longer coexist.
So yes, it be,
bro.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we're not. This is not a knock because I would hope she feels the same way because we're no bad blood. I hope the best for my ex and all her endeavors. But it's like we don't exist. We're not in a relationship. We're not romantically involved. We don't love each other anymore. So it's like I can exist and see her exist, and it don't mean
it don't bother you at all.
No, yeah.
I think the same thing. Like I think the exact same way. What's your question, Mike? I don't want you to forget it.
Nah, I won't. One thing I've always said though, when I stop talking to my exes, I know the type of girls they are. They actually really good girls. They are girls that probably shouldn't be on the market too long. Mm-hmm. So when I get out of and I finish talking to all three of my exes, of course I'm like, they ain't gonna move on nothing better than me. But I'm like, it's gonna come a time,
right,
where a nigga gonna
if she the catch you thought she was,
they better.
Nigga be gonna swoop in.
They better snatch that up. So when I see it, it's more like it's expected.
It's expected to see it.
Finally, I knew what happened sooner or later. So I don't really be like, now, like you said, you do see it. When I kind of side at it, it be kind of for me like, this nigga ain't me.
Right.
Type shit. It don't be like, they got something? Because I know that time is coming.
Yeah, you know it's coming. It's just different than witness.
That's like being mad at your ex out there fucking, boy, you better assume. My line of thinking is the minute she ain't out your sight after she leave or after you leave, new nigga's already on the way. New nigga's en route, so I don't even play that game. Mm-hmm. I'm not even wrapped up in that.
I'm already on about 3-4. You hear me?
See? Yeah, take time to heal, black man.
I do both.
Run like a motherfucker.
I heal while her heels up. I heal while her heels is up.
I hear you, King. I'm just saying, like, a lot of times we be so. What? He is wild. I hear everything he said, but I'm saying though, Mike is younger than me and Jordan. Mike is 25. Me and Jordan are 28. So it's like we see things through a different lens. We've been where Mike been, and Mike has insight of his own. But it's just like as we get older, we all we do need to take time. And I'm sure he's done that. Obviously he's done that. He's in a good space now.
Yeah.
But it's like you need to take time after your breakup to, like I was saying earlier, to reassess. Figure out who you are, figure out where you are at in life to see how you can, get up with the next person when that time comes when you're actually ready to date. Because a lot of motherfuckers, because it's one thing to go out there and fuck. We're not talking about that. Because getting over old pussy is better with new pussy. But I'm talking about getting into a new relationship. That takes time, bro. You gotta really find out who you are after that breakup to be like, am I ready for this? Because if you don't, you're just gonna crash and burn into the next one.
And I kind of knew my ex was getting to that bad. Because I remember when I was talking to her about something that one of her girlfriends was going through. When I was with her, when her girlfriend was going through a breakup, and then my ex was giving her advice. She said, I just told her, I forgot how she worded it. But she was like, one of the quickest ways to get over a man is to get under a new one. And I remember looking at her like, Why you saying that, motherfucker?
That let me know all I did.
Yeah, so it's like, I think after our breakup, I think that I know that was obviously occurring, and that wasn't something that we would discuss when we would talk. Right. But it was just like it was weird to hear that from her because that's not even like her personality. But once again, like B was saying, I think it's a conflicting matter when you trying to go with you trying to do what you need to do to go with your relationship. Like with me, especially when I came back home, like. Nigga, I knew I was about to be the man. Because I knew I was about to see a side of my life that I never seen. I've been in serious relationships since fucking I was 18, bro. Like
this was relationship.
Committed.
Boom!
I mean, with her, I was with her for like 3-4 years. Then my most recent ex, I was with her for 3-4 years. And in between, I had a joint that was like a year. So I never had a lot of time to play. I've been single for this point. I mean, I had like my other joints, but they fell off. Like it was like a month and it burnt out. So
Tell me, she the one she different. I'm stop.
Yo,
this nigga used to kill.
That I know what he's talking about when he say that.
I remember one time I was on the phone. This nigga Brandon was about to get mad and shit because I was taking all these other joints like on dates and it was failing. So I was about to take this one joint, the big joint I was talking to you about. We didn't work out and we was about to get back on it. Mm-hmm. And I was working. I was like, bro, I don't even give a fuck what's happening with this I'm talking to you right now because I know where I'm about to be. And this nigga friend was like, where? I was like, with Shorty. Yo, what the fuck? Like, we ain't having this conversation right now. I'm at work, nigga. Right? And he hung up on me. I'm like, damn, nigga. But he was right, though. That shit burnt me.
Because, man, this nigga will go to McDonald's and eat half of it and then put it in the fridge and eat the next day. I say it to say this. Revisiting an old relationship with the intent to have it the same way just don't work. And this nigga is reheated McDonald's.
I don't know what's wrong with
Probably like the grocery store.
You ain't never eat a reheated McDonald's burger?
It don't be the same.
It don't, but it be good to me.
I don't know. McDonald's,
nigga?
Nah.
Bro.
You gotta throw that out.
You disgusting. Fuck.
But my question. Fuck. I want to hear y'all input because this happened.
Yo.
Has an ex ever went and fucked with somebody that y'all knew?
Nah, beat a bitch ass.
I've never had that. And I've never. I hope that did not happen in any situation. I don't think that would have happened.
Nah,
Not, it wasn't the homie. It was just a nigga that sometimes I might be in the same room with. This is why.
You gotta check that early. Well, that's after your
But it was after my relationship. But this kind of fucked up part. We weren't cool. We weren't friends. We didn't talk. We did shake hands.
It's that. It's strictly the shaking
in a room, yo. But we had mutual friends. That's why we were in the same rooms together sometimes. So, but this one I knew she kind of felt uncomfortable though. She never really just told me. My mans told me.
The homie always.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, so my man came like, yeah, bro, you still be? I'm like, nah. He like, yeah, bro, I think my man's on that. I wanted to be like, don't matter to me, because it didn't.
Right.
But I was kind of like, alright, she know that I'm a nut. So either she gonna tell me or she just never gonna bring it up.
Okay.
So when I finally came back around and we had conversations, she would just be like, yeah, I kind of fuck with somebody. And I'm like, who?
What the fuck do that mean? You
right.
What?
Like who?
Sky blue, bitch.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to see if y'all ever been in a situation like that.
I've never, but see, even in that scenario, like you said, homie was like an acquaintance. Now, with this shit with Shorty with the name, the drink, that was Brandon. The joint that, I already talked about that on one of the episodes, right? I think so. I didn't, but it was Brandon homie. I'm surprised I didn't talk about this on the show.
Nah, really didn't. I wouldn't.
But it was short. Me and Shorty was cool. Everything was popping, was going well. I was talking in this new joint. I was really vibing with her. I think I met her off of Tinder, and then like she brought up the fact that like she has her up and downs of mental health. So like she was checking out a bit. Like conversation started dying,
right.
And I was like, this ain't right. So she spoke to me about it, and I gave me an honest conversation. So I'm like, out of respect, I know how serious that can be. I'm not killing you for that. I got the whole, so that's cool. But I like you though, and I wanted to see where it could go. Cause I was like, I could really see where this could go with her.
I'm telling you, she's different. I'm gonna stop saying that.
I did not say that about her. I did not. I said that about her. You don't.
I'm not about to lie.
So now I can't confide in you about none of the hoes.
I'm not about to lie, but you weren't, when y'all was getting to know each other, right? We wasn't sitting out here, we weren't talking at the beginning of COVID, because y'all never got to hang out like that until later on.
But I said I like the conversation. She give me really good conversation. I'm vibing with her. That's me telling you, like, yo, it's a new joint that I like and I like her.
Yeah, that's not.
This thing thought I'm about to fall in love. Hey, bitch, I'm deep.
I didn't say that.
So this
Fuck love.
So I'm going back and forth with her. I let her like that's cool, it's fine. So, Brandon homie, I forgot exactly how he came across that.
How Bull came across it? Well, we was all because how he came across Shorty.
Yeah, like she.
Dating apps, what you mean?
Oh yeah, he matched with her on the dating app. So she was giving him energy, like link up energy from Rip. Like she like, I come to your crib and I bring over food and blah 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 blah.
Tell her that it was months later though.
It was months later.
And
What
before,
does that mean?
no, to put in context that she was in a different space at the time.
Man.
I hear you. And
that's fair to say.
in the middle of that, she had matched with me too. After like 3 months after she had that little falling out with Jordan, not really a falling out, but they didn't talk no more. She matched with me. But I remember Jordan telling me about her, so I was like, yo, ain't this Shorty? He was like, yeah, and I was like, I'm off it.
So his homie like, that's fair game. Yeah. So his homie popped whatever, do anything, they was talking for a bit. So she kind of threw out a flyer at one point in time. They was talking for like a month or so, right? At that point, I wouldn't say, I don't know, we just estimate.
Yeah.
And she kind of threw out a flyer, because I'm pretty sure homie wasn't giving her no vibes of like, you about to be
real nigga stand up.
Real nigga shit, you know. So, you know who you are, nigga. We Eskimo brothers, neck. But, so she like, so she was hitting him like, yo, like, you know, I really like you, but we don't spend as much time as I would like to, and I don't like to be sleeping around, so like, what we about to be? And that nigga was like, nothing. Basically, essentially what she said.
Really?
So she got off of that, bro. Not even 48 hours later, she reached out to me. I ain't gonna hold you. I think I might have. I like the picture on her Instagram, and then she like 3 of mine, and then followed up with a DM and was like, "Oh my god, like I never thought that you would want to talk to me again. Like I'm so sorry, I was stupid to let you slip out of my hands."
You
like,
was.
Blah, blah, blah. And I fucked that night. I had sex with her that night.
The streets told you your value, then you came back. I'm top for my guy one time. I'm just saying.
You already know the vibe.
What are you talking about?
So I'm glad I shouldn't be that loud, but I had to express myself. Because I looked at that situation and I'm just like, yo, like, this is really, like, and I could have chose up on her. But after that had happened, I didn't even know, like, his man's like that, but it's an acquaintance, so I had a mutual respect for him. So it's like, we can never be nothing that. But she came back to me on that energy and she wouldn't even have said all that shit to me had he had been like, all right, yeah, we can be something.
Right.
So, bro, I say all that to say, like, nigga, come on.
I'll give my take, not on that, but it's like I've been the homie in that situation before. And you know, when cause this is probably about 4 years ago. So I matched, me and this John started talking, and we start talking around like Christmas time or some shit like that. So we probably talking for like a month and the communication just fall off. So later on, probably like summertime, we get back up. And I'm talking, and then I'm going to my homie barbecue that day. So we probably been talking for like maybe good 2-3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. We haven't. I don't know if we had linked yet. I don't think we linked yet.
3 weeks, no link.
I don't think it was 3 weeks then because it was probably 2 weeks, and then I was probably meeting her that week. So on my way up there, so I'm going to my homie barbecue in Philly. So it's me and 2 other homies. We up there. So mind you, Shorty goes to Delaware State, Delaware State University. My man who's driving,
they got the hoes.
They got the burn. But my man who's driving also went to Delaware State. So I'm like, I hit him with the you know her? This nigga hit me with the.
Damn.
I was like,
well,
damn.
That happened, your heart dropped. Especially with something that you like.
Yeah, and she was cool.
Yeah, he did talk to me about it.
Didn't get no bird bitch qualities or nothing like that. So I'm asking homie, what happened? What's up with her? He was like, ain't really shit. He ain't saying really shit, but it's like, his best friend was like, his best friend to slide her through. And they was roommates. So it's like, he'd come in sometime from class for work or something, and she'd be butt ass in like the bedroom or something like that. And I was just like,
that dorm like
facts, dorm like real nigga shit.
Facts.
So I'm like,
you got to tell like what's happening, bro. I'm wiping off. How you doing?
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, that's how it was. He was like, yeah. So instantly, and I don't have time to play these games at this point in my life. But I'm like, shit, she cool. So I can waste my time for a couple weeks to a month too. So it's like we got to know each other, hung out. I was fucking, of course. But like, I was like, man, this girl be capped right here. Like, we talking about energy shift, man. Cause like I went from liking her to like, damn, it's a shame I can't like you more than what I'm supposed to right now. Like, so it's like, bro, we probably hung out for about 2.5 months. And now, of course, I was dealing with other chicks. Right. But like, I would go down to her crib because she probably lived about 40. She probably lived like 55 hour out. But I would go down there, shit, come up here, we'd hang out, go down there, fuck, do shit, go on dates and all that shit. And it's just like, whole time, it's like, damn, it sucks because she cool, but you was a slide to a nigga that I probably met bull probably like twice. Right. Same type shit, shook his hand, cool.
So I guess we are kind of, we do have similar situations.
Yeah, so it's like, and I went out with the nigga like twice.
So wasn't y'all ex personally?
Yeah. So we was fucking around, and it just got to the point, it's like, I know this not about to be real. So I just like, man, look, fuck it. Here go the sauce, man. How I would get out of a relationship. How I would get out of situationships with a girl who really liked me, and I was kind of just like, you cool. How I get out of that when I was younger, be like, I'm saying the word getting kind of crazy. Like, I would run that a lot. When I would just I would just run that because it's like I was too much of a coward.
I got the A on the joint. Just to let
I know.
Because I was like, we're getting kinda. I just throw the A on kinda.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But I was too much of a coward back then to be like, let me just break it off for real and give a real excuse. Cause Shorty felt me, and I'm not saying she was like she had died and head over here. It wasn't like that. But if I allowed it to progress,
she would have been on that.
She would have been on that to the point where she was like, bro, when I broke it off with her, like, yo, you know, we're getting kind of crazy type shit. She was like, nah, I feel you, but I mean, I'm saying, like, you know, if things slow up for you, I'm around. Just, not trying to sound definite, but just like, yo, I like you, I'm here for you. I'm available if things change. And I appreciated that from her. But it's just like,
like you seen her, she was in a relationship and she still had a Tinder profile active.
Nah, this is like months later, right? Months later, I knew she is in a relationship with this dude, and then that's nothing wrong with that. But I seen her on Bumble, and I was like, hold up, you got a whole dude.
Well, I be seeing y'all. I never snitched.
I seen that. Yo, ladies, watch this. We friends and follow a couple of y'all. You seen y'all relationship
coming man to man.
I'm coming like this. Look.
I'm not snitching.
Say man to man.
But what's had that ass?
I'm trying to come to you as a man.
I'm trying to come to you as a man. But nah, that just to say that really like puts it in perspective because I didn't know all three of us shared equal experiences like that, and I had to think about what y'all saying. Like, damn, that's my situation. So this situation happened. It was pretty similar. I just happened to be the homie. That wasn't my girl.
That wasn't your girl.
My man's man used to slide her. That wasn't even his girl. She was nobody's girl in this equation. It was just two niggas sliding like a fucking park. Nigga, like, so
it never really messed up me though. I still was able to get mine.
Of course, right.
Because
I got mine. Up with that.
But at that point, I was just an ex. So I'm like,
he was top two with the top game.
I'm about to just stop what I got going on.
Right.
Because again, if you don't respect your relationship,
why should I?
I'm for sure not.
Now, relationship, yeah. Marriage, no.
So, hold on, because I let him cook last week, but I'm have to call bullshit. So, somebody can be in a relationship where two people love each other.
Because it's different.
Hold on.
It's different.
It's different than this nigga.
No, it's for sure.
It's different than this nigga. Okay. All right, let me cook. So, I just have a hard time believing, like, so a piece of paper makes it different.
You taking a vow. It's not specifically the paper, but you taking a vow under oath.
To who?
To whatever you believe in.
Okay,
but I have faith in religion. I don't know specific religion.
Okay, but that's cool. But it's like, motherfuckers can be on this moral high ground. It's like, well, I won't fuck another man's wife, but I will fuck that woman, even though she got a boyfriend. Like, all right, we splitting hairs here. Because
even if you are,
I'm not saying you're wrong.
The ring on her finger does mean
it don't mean a motherfucking thing. If she's committed to a man and you enter that man home, meaning his temple and his fortress of his queen, whoever that may be a wife, girlfriend, you're just as foul. And I'm not saying you're wrong either way, because I would do the same thing. I'll fuck somebody wife, I'll fuck somebody girlfriend. So I know what it is, but what I don't like is motherfuckers be like, nah, it's different because they married it under the eyes of God. That shit don't mean nothing to me. And motherfuckers act like a paper solidifies it though.
I see your opinion, B, but do you understand how that's extremely subjective to how you feel?
Okay, I said how I feel, but it's at the end of the day, a paper is what binds them. Right?
It's more than paper for me, but I can see why you would view it as
But
paper.
no, on paper, it's a paper that's binding. That's the only thing that's binding.
Are we adding the aspect of religion into it as well?
No, because not everybody is under the same religion. So you can act like it's under your religion when it's not uniform.
It's just religion as a whole.
In general.
In general. People can get, wherever you get married at, whatever religion is, it's like sacred. Because you gotta think, how many relationships are you gonna have? You want one marriage.
Right, that's the goal, hopefully.
50% of these people in this country divorce.
You're right, and it's a statistic. It's unfortunate, but I'd much rather have nothing. I don't want no entanglements.
You ever fuck somebody's girlfriend? You ever fuck somebody's girlfriend, Jordan?
Have I had sex with somebody's girlfriend?
You ever fuck somebody's girlfriend?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah, no, I have. I was just trying to think. But no, I'm saying, like I said, I'm not trying to be on no August.
I'm not gonna state my case no more. I just want to just like, bro.
Look at that nigga. Look how that nigga got left.
You feel me?
Jason left that nigga in the dust. He said,
So
I was
that's
in
your
love.
situation?
She said, I was entangled. I mean, think about it. If that marriage gets caught up, what you think she about to hit the nigga with?
So you about to invest your time in a woman that's getting fucked by another man?
I'm not saying that I would, because you know I would, but it's a lot of goofy niggas out here.
Okay, but we're talking about you, bro.
Oh no, I would never dare.
Alright, so
But I wouldn't do it at all.
But I hear you, but don't be like, that's the August Alsina thing, because that's a rare situation about a woman who's a millionaire and a man who's a millionaire and a nigga that's some side dick. We not about to do that.
Niggas be catching the feels, bro.
I'm not saying motherfuckers don't. Okay, I'm not saying motherfuckers don't catch feels. What I am saying is, motherfuckers that act like because you fuck somebody's wife, it's sacred, but fucking somebody's girlfriend ain't. I get where you're coming from by saying there's a religious aspect, which means nothing at the end of the day because a lot of shit's religious. A lot of shit's religious that we do anyway.
This nigga brave. I know y'all religious, but fuck your religion. You all agree?
All that. Yo, I hear you. Man, y'all niggas eat shrimp? All right then.
I do.
All right. What they gotta do with the price of tea in China?
Your Bible says you can't eat shrimp. Or shellfish.
Here he go with that.
Oh, so it's don't come with that nigga wife. We don't do that. But don't eat shrimp. We're crab
bro. We be sitting here.
Exactly. But you gotta prove his point why he says he doesn't do with a married woman because that's more sacred than a relationship.
Who are you in regards to what? Because if
niggas started comparing married pussy to shrimp.
Because it's in the Bible, nigga.
Oh God.
Okay.
A ring is for sure more sacred than a relationship.
That's fine to say, but this
it is.
Okay, but that's fine to say. But if you're coming from the context of y'all made it about religion, not me. Y'all said it's in the context of religion. Okay, we doing shit that's not against what we going through in religion. So why we eating shellfish? It says don't eat shellfish in the Bible.
But we talking about
okay, when it's real for you, we don't want to deal with that.
No, did you see what you saying? I get what you're saying.
He's not saying he doesn't fuck a married woman because God said so. That's he's saying. He's saying aspect. He's saying a religious aspect.
But that's not my entire reason behind. Nigga, I have sex. I shouldn't be having sex. I'm sinful in the idea of me having sex outside of wedlock. Exactly.
Now you can do what you want.
Bro, all I'm telling you is, don't come to me and be like, oh, so you ain't gonna fuck no married pussy, but you about to go order that Red Lobster special? Like, what? Damn.
The fuck?
Anyway, to wrap this up, because we running over time, I'm noticing like a motherfucker. We love y'all all, because we could go on a tangent. We can get y'all like a 3
I love
hour
some
session.
of y'all. Some of y'all.
I love all y'all.
I love my support. We love our support.
If you support me, if you support us,
we love
if
our
you support
supporters.
the Problematic Gentleman Podcast, I support you.
Exactly.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Follow our page, Problematic Gentleman Podcast. Our YouTube channel, Problematic Gentleman.
What else?
On Spotify, Apple Music, Breaker,
what else?
Anchor.
I think that's it. Did we say Breaker?
Did
we say Google Podcast?
Google Podcast.
Yo, we on. And look, if it's a streaming
Apple Podcast,
we on it. Follow us. We have the Problematic Gentleman Podcast Facebook fan page. Please like and interact with us off of that. Thumbs up the page. Thumbs up the page. It's not a page we've added.
Thumbs it down too, you hating ass niggas.
Yeah, y'all can do that if you can. But like,
we
we would like feedback. We're gonna post clips on all that fly shit. You know what I'm saying?
So, ladies and gents, until next time.
Yes, sir.
Where the shrimp at? Yeah.